Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. Hope everybody's having a good evening thus far. Gotta try to set this up real quick. All right, we are going live. We do have a couple of tornado warnings that were just issued, and we are starting to see more and more rotation in different storms right now that are firing off across Illinois, Indiana, and as well as Michigan. We're going to go first to Michigan. This is the first tornado warning that's been issued, at least over the last half an hour or so. We do have some rotation that is just to the south of Orissa. It is moving east-northeast on track for Charlotte, Interstate 69, Olivet, and as well as Brookfield. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building as this storm does continue to move east-northeast. The rotation on this storm was stronger a few minutes ago. It is, at least over the last couple of scans, becoming a little bit weaker and a little bit broader. So that's good news on this storm for now. It's a very, very low top supercell. It's not really a large, booming thunderstorm here in Michigan, but it is something that is rotating. We have a little bit of wind shear, a little bit of a mesoscale convective vortex, and that's allowing at least for a little bit of spin with that particular system. Now, further down to the south, we do have a brand new tornado warning that was just issued in Indiana. This is actually near Sulphur Springs, Newcastle, just to the east of Indianapolis. And this rotation was a little bit tighter just a moment ago. If you go back over here to the northwest of Newcastle as of about 5 minutes ago or so, not even, we actually had a little bit of a tight couplet there just to the north of Cadiz and just to the south of Sulphur Springs. This is also moving right now east-southeast, and it is capable of producing a tornado. So if you are in this warning, make sure that you're getting to your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Now, this isn't it. Obviously, there's only a couple of storms that are tornado warned right now, but back over in Illinois, it's actually getting a little bit interesting. If we go over to the mid levels of the two storms that have just fired off south of Springfield, Illinois, both of these are already rotating. We actually have a little bit of rotation just to the west of the Kincaid area, and we have a little bit of rotation just to the east of Interstate 55 south of Pawnee. So there are two storms that are rotating here, and these could be capable of producing at least some level of a tornado risk over the next hour or so. Now, today's tornado risk, it is actually a bit more elevated. We talked about this in the video today. It was a 2%. It has been upgraded to a 5% across parts of southern Indiana and as well as southeast Illinois, where we could see the potential for a few tornadoes tonight, and that could even go into the overnight hours across parts of Kentucky. So a couple areas that we're watching for in particular, but our main focus is going to be out of the storm activity that is just fired off over in central and southern Illinois, and any other storms that can get going, which we even have one north of Urbana. Any of these storms that get going initially will have an elevated chance of producing an isolated tornado or two. So make sure that you're staying weather aware if you're anywhere in this area, and you might already be caught off guard because there is a tornado warning, not even in the technical tornado risk over in southern central Michigan. So just keep that in mind. Really, anywhere in this general area could see an isolated tornado. Now, you might see there are 13 severe thunderstorm warnings right now, and there's a reason why. We also have severe weather back over in the northern plains, most of this being mostly wind and hail. We're not really covering this unless something goes, completely crazy, but right now it's just mostly wind and hail. The main concern tonight will be in the Ohio Valley and as well as parts of the Midwest. We also have a complex of thunderstorms that's been moving across the Atlanta, Georgia area. Again, we'll talk a little bit about this, but it'll be mostly just a wind threat. We do have a couple of radar Omega cyclone ports, which are the live cameras on the app, so we'll see if we can see anything there. But for the most part, at least for right now, this is mostly just a wind maker across parts of northwestern Georgia, and even back down in parts of central Georgia, we are mostly just dealing with a wind threat in those areas. So that's what we're looking at for the time being. All right, let's go back over to first we're going to check on the storms in Illinois again. And again, we do have some rotation developing here. Neither of these are tornado warned right now. We actually have 3 pockets of at least some circulation in the mid levels, and what that basically means is that we are probably at least seeing some spin. Might even have a wall cloud trying to form on one of these 3 storms just to the south of Springfield in Illinois. So again, none of these currently tornado warned. We're going to go to the closer up radar site. The closer up radar site, for reference, does not really show any circulation, or at least a very weak area of circulation, which is closer to the surface. And I think overall, again, we may have some sort of lowering or wall cloud on this, but nothing near the ground right now that looks imminent. So that's what we're looking at least on radar right now. But this storm here near Pawnee and Taylorville is definitely organizing very quickly. It is moving southeast. It will be on track for the Pana area and eventually going towards Shelbyville and Coden, and Effingham would be a long-term track of that particular storm. And over the next hour, hour or two, we are expecting to be basically seeing a widespread area of thunderstorms developing across parts of southern central Illinois and as well as back through parts of southern and central Indiana. So a couple of things that we'll be watching for here. Let's go back to the Indiana tornado warning. Let's check that out, as this rotation, for the time being, we actually have maybe 2 areas of rotation. Let's go back to this radar site. Might even have another one east of Newcastle that's trying to develop. At least a little mesocyclone maybe trying to develop. This is the one that's warned right here, south of Sulphur Springs. There's actually another little area of circulation just north of State Route 38, so that might be something to watch for. It's a very low-top supercell. And again, a lot of these storms initially, over the next couple of hours, really, is when we're going to be watching for a tornado risk. I think after 10 o'clock, it's mostly just going to be wind. So today's live stream probably going to be like 3 to 4 hours, depending on how things go. But like, you know, for right now, it's mostly going to be a tornado risk with any storms that stay discrete. The one back up in Michigan is still rotating, but the circulation is a little bit broader and it's a little bit weaker. So not nearly as concerning. We don't have a debris signature or anything like that, but it is still rotating. And that, again, is currently moving to the east-northeast over the next several minutes. So again, continue to stay in your safe place if you're in this warning. Currently, this does include Berry and Eaton counties in Michigan. The tornado warning in Indiana is for Henry County. So those are the areas that are included right now. By the way, just something I'm going to point out right off the bat, because I know a lot of you guys watch these streams quite often. You might see something that's new with the stream. Completely new. Bottom left of your screen, whenever there's a tornado warning, whenever there's a severe thunderstorm warning, it will be posted at the bottom left of your screen. It will have details. It'll be there for like 7 to 8 seconds. We're kind of giving a little test run and see how it goes. But we have a brand new little, setup here with new alerts and such. And also on the right side of your screen, you might notice the warning counter a little bit off center, but it's a little bit different than before. Those are also going to automatically update, so I don't have to deal with manually entering in the numbers and stuff. So we have a much more automated setup now, which is nice. So yeah, cool stuff. We just got that finally done. It was supposed to be done like 2 months ago, but now it's done. So there you go. Cool little upgrade here to the weather studio. It was a big coding project. By the way, it's like completely like, quote unquote proprietary, if you will, but it was a full-blown coding monstrosity. There's a lot of coding that goes into that stuff. So but yeah, it's pretty much done. The only thing that's not here yet is on the bottom of your screen. The warnings and such will kind of filter through over the next. We'll probably have that in like a few days or something. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, let me get back to weather here. Pictures on Twitter. Okay. Yeah, if you have any Twitters, if you have any Twitters, absolutely. If you have any photos or videos, you can tweet me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. This is our first stream in like 2 weeks, so I am not completely used to using correct verbiage, apparently. There was a tornado, by the way, earlier in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Kind of a weird one. I'll try to retweet that on Twitter. Not seeing anything on Twitter. All right, here's the latest scan on the Indiana storm. Again, just really broad circulation for the time being. It's not really too intense. Still watching this closely as it moves east-southeast. We do still have the tornado warning in Michigan, just south of Lansing for 8 more minutes. I'm going to be honest with you, they'll probably end up just canceling this or letting it expire because the rotation is still relatively broadening out over the last several scans. The very beginning of this warning, look how tight that was. I mean, we may have had a smaller, brief tornado just to the southwest of Orissa. It is definitely broadening out, though, over the last several scans, and it's also much weaker. So this storm's less concerning. The storm in Indiana still remains kind of broad to maybe a little bit on the moderate side of things when it comes to rotation. I honestly wouldn't be surprised though in the next 30 minutes if we get a tornado warning in Illinois on one of these 3 storms. Like, it just would not surprise me. So we'll be watching that closely. Again, we got really just mainly these 2 storms that we're watching, but we have multiple storms that are forming. And anything that can stay discrete here is going to be able to rotate and produce the potential for a tornado. We really have 4 or 5 solid updrafts that have developed at this point here across parts of central southern Illinois. So any of these, again, are capable of producing the potential for a tornado as long as they stay discrete and as long as there is enough wind shear with those storms. I'm going to quickly go to North Dakota real quick. I just want to check out the storm. Oops. The storm was latching onto an outflow boundary, so I just wanted to see if it actually tried to produce a tornado or not. It didn't really. It kind of fizzled. All right, never mind. This storm over here near Bismarck was kind of trying to, you know, go crazy. It could have actually produced a really photogenic large tornado, but good thing it didn't. Is northern Indiana okay? I wouldn't say you're out of the, you know, running for storms yet. We've had a couple trying to form up there, but for the most part, like, this is probably going to be the main initiation area in northern Indiana, and I would be mostly just concerned about wind at this point. The one that's north of Urbana right now, that one I think has a little bit better of a chance of trying to produce at least a low-end tornado risk. So, I swore I just saw Connor. Yeah, Connor was there. I changed over to Corey. I'll change it back and forth a little bit. We got Corey Gherkin, Brandon Kopic, and Connor Croft storm chasing today. So we'll have all three of them. We'll go back to Connor, bottom right. Connor's currently going west. You can see him on the Radar Omega app. We got all three of them literally going towards this area of storm activity, which are those storms that are all south of Springfield right now. They are pretty much all rotating to some extent. So there's at least some circulation right now just south of Springfield with those storms. And we also have another one firing up now just to the south of Lincoln, which will be approaching Interstate 72. So if you know any friends or family in southern Illinois, just make sure to let them know that, you know, tonight, the tornado risk, unfortunately, it's going to be, you know, mostly after sunset or at least around sunset. It's basically from now until about 10 or 11 o'clock for the greatest threat. So yeah. Also, tornado warning in Michigan has now been canceled, so that one's no longer ongoing. For whatever reason, the warning counter does not always update for canceled tornado warnings, but we only have one now. The area of rotation that might be developing here is actually near Battle Creek. We have another little circulation there near Battle Creek that's trying to develop. This is as of 7:24. Yeah, pretty much lined up. So a little circulation just to the east of Battle Creek, Michigan. But again, most of this rotation up and down this area is relatively broad. I don't see anything imminent right now in Michigan. Again, our main tornado warning right now would be the one here. Oh, now we have one in Illinois. So there you go. All right, so we now have a new tornado warning. That is for Illinois. That is going to include areas in Taylorville and Kincaid. So if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. That is, again, for Kincaid, Taylorville, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets warned, too, with that broader, at least broad area of circulation, but it is trying to develop. And that's, again, currently moving to the southeast. But this one near Kincaid, it's had rotation for quite a bit. It is radar indicated. No reports, it looks like, as of now on this storm, but I would not be shocked if we had a wall cloud. There might be some sort of rotation on this. Again, that's moving southeast, going to be going on track for Pana. So again, if you are in this warning, seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and interior room of your home or building. Again, that's your mid-level rotation. It's not super strong, but it's definitely strong enough. This one, I think, is almost undoubtedly going to get warned. The one currently northwest of Witt, like, that one just feels like it's bound to get warned here. That is definitely tightening. Let's go back to this radar. Yeah, I mean, that right there should get warned. That's going to be going towards Nokomis, Illinois, north of Hillsboro. Again, near Morrisonville right now. The tornado warning that we're talking about, though, that just got issued, that's the one for Kincaid, Taylorville, going towards Pana. So that's the one that we're talking about that's warned. The one that's not warned yet, but is definitely starting to intensify, is east of Interstate 55. It's on track for Witt in the Nokomis area. So again, that's moving to the southeast. Pana is Pana. Thank you. And again, we have two tornado warnings. One was canceled in Michigan. The only two that we have right now are this one in Christian County, Illinois, and then the other one in Henry County, Indiana. The warning graphic is very fancy. I know. It's extremely fancy. Very, very special. I'm surprised this one isn't warned yet. Rotation's definitely intensifying. Let's go back to the close-up radar site. I would be watching the one that's going to be going on track for Interstate 72 as well. It is another discrete cell that might try to produce some sort of tornado threat. This one south of Morrisonville, that one, again, in my opinion, will probably get warned. The one near Taylorville, still broad circulation near the surface. It is stronger aloft. So we're still watching those two storms. Again, Connor Croft, Brandon Kopic, and Corey Gherkin all right now moving westbound, trying to approach these storms. And today's setup, for the record, was extremely hard to predict due to the nature of all these storms, literally, not knowing where they were going to form today. That was the biggest thing. And so storm chasers were kind of just sitting near the Indiana and Illinois border. The majority of the tornadic supercells that are trying to develop, at least so far, have been in Illinois. We've had a couple over here in southeast Indiana as well. There is a tornado possible label on the storm going towards Metamora right now. So that'll also be something to watch for as that moves to the east. And then also the one up to the north near Newcastle. This one is still rotating. Some broad circulation moving east-southeast. Hagerstown will be in the track of this. Dalton and eventually Cambridge City all in the track of this eventually. Main concern, again, still being damaging winds, but a tornado will be a possibility. Let's go back to Illinois again. And we're going to wait for the next radar scan here. And again, all these storms, for the most part today, will be moving southeast. If you're in Michigan, they are moving more east and northeast. Michigan got a tornado warning? They did. They don't have one anymore, but they did have one. That is no longer ongoing. All right, while we wait for another radar scan, thank you, Hillary, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Lexa, for the 1 month. Thank you, Marquez, for the $1.99. Thank you, Yoshi, for the $5 super chat. I think Carol's stream will be okay. I wouldn't be too concerned up there. Thank you, Smith, for the $1.99. Thank you, Chris, Ellie, and Kim for all becoming 2- and 3-month members. And thank you, Stallion, for the $4.99. Big rotating wall cloud in Carter, South Dakota. Let me check that out real quick. I'm not really going to be talking too much about South Dakota, but I will definitely check it out. Yeah, I can see why. This storm is a beast. Was this a storm? This one was tornado warned actually earlier. The rotation was like extremely tight, but it was also heavily contaminated and in a radar hole. So this one does not really surprise me that it at least has something like a rotating wall cloud. It looks like a monster supercell moving east-southeast. Yeah, these storms are going crazy in the central and northern plains today, but luckily it's been mostly just, very rural activity in nature. We'll have another radar scan here in a second. This is the 725 radar scan. This is the most recent scan from the radar site near St. Louis. We still have rotation that's pretty tight in the mid to low levels. So again, maybe a wall cloud on, either one of these storms. The one north of Witt, I'm kind of surprised, again, hasn't gotten warned yet, but at the bare minimum, it is rotating. It's not on the ground by any means. We haven't had any definitive confirmation of that, but there's at least a little bit of rotation there. Tornado touchdown in Charlotte, Michigan. We're talking about from earlier. I mean, right now, it's pretty broad circulation. I'd be surprised if there was something right now with that. Thank you, Scott, for becoming a maximum velocity member. This Newcastle storm definitely has a chance, though, of producing a tornado. That rotation is definitely still strong enough to the point where we could have a tornado. I'm going to see if we have any live cams of this area. Send you a photo of it in South Dakota on Twitter. Wow. That is crazy. I am retweeting the photo out of South Dakota on Twitter. It is a pretty gnarly camera. Alright, that's the only one I see right now. I'm going to see if we have a view of this one in Newcastle right now. This rotation in Newcastle still doesn't appear as if it is imminent, but there is definitely rotation. There's enough for there to be at least a potential for a tornado. There are a couple of live cams in this area. I'm just trying to see if we can see any sort of lowering or anything. The storm is currently moving to the east-southeast, so it is on track right now for Cambridge City and Centerville, and eventually Richmond in Indiana. There are a couple of live shots, but none of them really showing anything yet. We'll keep a close eye on them. All right, let's go back to Illinois again. Let's go back to... And really, we got really 3 storms right now that are capable of producing some level of a tornado threat here in the short term. We got really the main 2, in my opinion, are these 2. The one near Kincaid and Taylorville moving towards Pana, and then the other one going towards Witt. These 2 in particular, I would say, have the better shot of producing a tornado threat. The one near Hillsborough, though, is starting to form a hook. So we might have another one forming, or another area of rotation trying to form there. And that could also produce the potential for some sort of tornado threat that is on track for Vandalia. So we are watching all three of these storms very closely as they continue to move southeast. Dibble, what are you typing for so long? I see you typing. I don't know if it's urgent. Let's go back to the northern radar site here. Still got a storm trying to blow up here east of Springfield. Not really rotating quite yet. Something we'll be watching for. Again, our main area of storm activity that is rotating is all here in parts of central, southern Illinois. Moving southeast, it is currently on track again for the Effingham area, Vandalia, Greenville. Anything big yet? Not really. Nothing big yet. Again, today shouldn't hopefully be that big, but, you know, we already have several rotating storms, so we'll see. This will not be as bad as the derecho, hopefully. If it is, then we're chalked. But it really should be... This tornado threat today is really like a, you know, a very short span. It's any time from about now until about 10 o'clock or so. So it's really the next 2.5 hours, and then after that, it should be mostly just a windbag moving across parts of Illinois, Indiana, as well as Kentucky. Dibble, are you watching right now? I don't even know if you know I'm live. Another chance at a derecho on Wednesday? I don't know yet. I've been, again, this weather pattern this week, it is going to be so hard to predict. Like, it's not even funny. Like, this is harder to predict than what we had with the derecho, you know, a couple weeks ago. Because a lot of what we're going to be seeing over the next really, you know, couple of weeks, or really over the, not next couple of weeks, but like over the next few days at least, is a lot of small mesoscale features. And so, you know, overall, this weather pattern that we're going to be in here for the next little while, it is going to be something that is... you know, very hard to predict in nature. I honestly think that the forecasting is going to have to be like nowcasting. Now, I do think there is a chance at a derecho on Wednesday. I think that the best chance for something like that would be on Wednesday. I don't think today is going to be a derecho. I just, you know, so far this event is still very early stages, but I still think Wednesday would have the better shot of having something like that, as the northwesterly flow will be like the most organized. We talked a little bit about that in our video and whatnot, so... But yeah, I think Wednesday would be our best shot. I don't think tomorrow will be too bad, but we might have another windbag back over in western Illinois and eastern Iowa and even parts of Missouri. So we might be live again tomorrow. We might have 3 or 4 straight days of live streaming, depending on how things go. Watching the cloud tops of the thunderstorms in Illinois from Edwardsville. Pretty impressive. Yeah, Connor has a view of that right now. Let's go to Connor real quick. Go full screen Connor. He actually has a view of it from east to west, looking at these tornadic supercells. And you kind of see those overshooting cloud tops. Just a little bit. That's a view of that right now. Still got rotation near Newcastle, Indiana. The rotation's still not super tight. It's still relatively broad, but could still produce a tornado. Again, that's moving towards Hagerstown and Cambridge City and Interstate 70. So if you are in this tornado warning, continue to stay in your safe place. It only goes for another 8 minutes. Wouldn't be surprised if they issue a new one, depending on how strong that rotation is in 5 minutes or so. South of Connorsville still have a little bit of rotation, but it's been relatively broad. And honestly, I don't think this one's going to be too concerning, at least for now. It might become a bit more concerning as it eventually moves into southwest Ohio. And then back over in Illinois, again, I still think Illinois for the next couple hours is the main target zone for a tornado risk. The storm near Taylorsville or Taylorville Supercell in Illinois, rotation near the surface has been relatively weak and very broad. Back over on the storms, though, that are south of it, it's kind of the same way. We just have a lot of mid to low level rotation that's not, approaching the surface. So basically what I'm saying here is that we probably have at least a couple of wall clouds, but nothing that's actually gotten to the ground yet, at least from what we know. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. There was a wall cloud, though, back over in Lapel earlier in Indiana. So that's something that was reported there. If you guys do have any photos or videos, you can tweet me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. And we'll try to at least retweet them, maybe even show them on stream. Here's the latest scan. Still 2 areas of rotation right now. Both of these, again, moving southeast here in Illinois. One just to the southwest of Taylorville, and the other one approaching Witt. The one near Witt is currently not warned, but we are going to continue to watch it closely. All right. Thank you, Smith, for the 199. Valentine, Nebraska storm merger. Well, check it out real quick. Yeah, I mean, this is something that would be capable of a tornado, but there's been a lot of storm mergers here. I don't know. It looks more like a hail and wind threat to me, but it might produce some low tornado risk as it moves towards like Springview, but it's a relatively low risk. I'd say overall most of these storms just wind and hail. The one that's over here near Winter right now, this one's unbelievable. I mean, it's a massive high precipitation supercell that's moving towards Gregory and Burke. And yeah, we're not really going to talk too much about these, but they are significant storms. Obviously, take those warnings seriously. There's no doubt in my mind that these are going to be capable of, some significant threats here over the next probably at least hour or two. And then after sunset, we should start to see those storms dying out just a little bit. This is, let's go real quickly to Brandon Kopic. Brandon Kopic is on Radar Omega and on YouTube. He's looking at his live stream chat right now, so we're going to go back here to Connor first. Whenever he goes back, I will pull him up. Actually, I'll try to pull him up here.
It doesn't look like they're...
I don't know if that's Brandon. I don't think it is. Brandon, all right. We'll go back to Brandon once he's looking live. But Brandon right now is moving westbound. He is going to be approaching the storm near Taylorville. You actually can see that here. So Brandon Kopic on YouTube and on Radar Omega. Nice little sunset, by the way. Look at the sun setting there on the right side of your screen. Overshooting cloud tops. Again, these storms are blowing up, capable of producing at least a low-end tornado risk over the next few hours. But quite literally a beautiful sunset here in southern central Illinois. You can see the cresp, I think, I can't pronounce the word. It's like cresp peculiar waves, or rays, I mean. I can't remember how you pronounce that. That's what you're seeing here with these like sharp lines and whatnot. It's pretty interesting. Really nice view there. Do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Witt, Nokomis, Ramsey, and Hillsboro. It's currently moving southeast.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right. We do have a new tornado warning. That is going to be for the storm in Indiana. That is going to be near Newcastle, Hagerstown, going towards Cambridge City. If you are in this warning, that is not including Hagerstown or Cambridge City, but if you're just west of that, seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. And that is currently moving southeast. Still broad circulation. Nothing is tightened. Nothing's officially on the ground here, but we are still going to be watching for the potential of a tornado as this continues to move southeast. Nothing on the ground, though, at least for right now. What I was saying is that we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning here in Illinois. Again, we've been watching rotation on the storm back over just to the south of Morrisonville, moving towards Nokomis, Illinois for several minutes now. Nothing is on the ground officially, but we've had rotation with this for a while. And we've also had rotation here just to the east of Litchfield. So both storms are still rotating. And as they continue to move south-southeast, we'll have to watch and see if they try to produce a tornado threat. The one near Taylorville has been in the same boat. It's been rotating for a while. Nothing's dropped, at least from what we know, but it definitely could drop a tornado as that continues to move down to the southeast. So again, all these storms, for the most part, are moving southeast as of right now. All right. I missed a few notifications here. Thank you, Aether, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Thank you, Tommy, for the 2 months. Thank you, Roses, for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Roberts, for the $4.99. Probably not going to see much there in Indianapolis unless we get some storm initiation here soon. It'll be mostly just a wind threat. I mean, we got a few little showers, maybe little thunderstorms developing north of Indianapolis, but nothing, out of the ordinary. And the same thing goes up here off to the north, south of South Bend, for example, north of Logansport. Mostly just gusty winds. I'm not seeing anything, crazy right now. The main activity, I think, really will be this activity that we're seeing developing here in Illinois, and then back over here in southeast Indiana and southwest Ohio. We've had a lot more instability, a lot more breaks in the clouds, and that's kind of allowing for more of a threat here for some storms and perhaps even some severe weather. So that's what we're looking at right now. Thank you, Jocelyn, for the $50 super chat. Appreciate the generosity. Got a fast-growing forest in Loveland, Colorado. I don't know what that means. Are we talking about an actual forest, or are we talking about something else? Thank you for the $50 super chat, though. I appreciate it. It's been going pretty good. Been pretty chill the last kind of week and a half, but we are back. Haven't been live for weather in like 2 weeks. It's been 13 days since we were last live for weather, so... And apparently we have flipped into the southern hemisphere on Connor Croft's feed, so don't know what's happening there, but we are now apparently in Antarctica. That's pretty incredible. Wow. Like on Rock and Roller Coaster all over again. I don't know what... He's just realizing now. I'm gonna quickly Zello him and say my viewers are not enjoying being upside down on a roller coaster. My viewers are not enjoying being upside down on a roller coaster right now. Alright. We also have Zello, by the way, with Connor, so... Alright. Thank you, Jocelyn, for the $10 super chat. Oh, forest fire. Oh, I gotcha. In Colorado? I didn't know they were in Colorado now. There's been a lot of forest fires on the west coast, like in California. And even up in Canada, there's been a ton. Canada, there's like a ridiculous amount of forest fires right now. Well, hopefully, there's rain at some point, but it doesn't look promising in the near future, unfortunately. Thank you, Steve, for the $12 super chat. I saw that. I actually saw that. Me and Connor were on vacation when that happened, but I did see that happen. I think it was like 80-mile-per-hour winds or something in Missoula, Montana. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, but that was really the only crazy weather that we both missed, and it wasn't really anything, that I would have gone live for anyways, because it was just pretty isolated. But yeah, it's been very quiet the last, ever since that DeRate show, there's been, nothing when it comes to weather. So. Thank you, Coleman, for the $4.99. If you're just tuning in, we still have 2 tornado warnings. Again, we got one here in southeast Indiana. That is currently for Henry County. Moving southeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Rotation still does remain a little bit on the broader side of things. Nothing on the ground officially. We do have a couple live cams in this area, so I'm going to see if we can see anything just to the south of Hagerstown. And yeah, we do. We have a view of it. So top right of your screen, this is the tornadic storm here in Indiana. So that's what we'd be looking at if there was something. And apparently Connor is upside down again. Wow, that's impressive. Got a really nice little, it looks pretty, I mean, it looks like a nice little lowering here. Kind of looks like a wall cloud almost. It's a very large area though for a lowering. This again is the one in Indiana right now trying to produce a tornado in Henry County. And Connor is currently approaching the storm in Illinois. So we're watching that closely too. The top right of your screen. Nice little lowering right there. Going right towards Interstate 70... 70, yeah. Okay, I was about to say 76, but 70. Interstate 70 here in Henry County, in Indiana. Check on the storms in Michigan. There's not much happening in Michigan right now. The storms in Michigan do not look that concerning. Very broad circulation. Probably not going to be tornadic after what we just saw. This is actually the storm. This is from Mystic Maple on Twitter. This is the storm over in... this is near the Beth Alto area of Illinois. That storm really exploded quickly. You can see how fast this overshoot... I mean, we got huge cumulonimbus clouds here. So those storms blew up pretty quickly. I'm not sure what the cloud tops are on those. Let me check real quick. Let's go to this. Let's check echo tops. Wow, look at the storm down near Hillsborough. 54,000 feet. These are not small storms here in Illinois. Yeah, right around 50 to 55,000 feet. These are definitely some tall thunderstorms. They're definitely not something to be messing around with. Again, the tornado risk today, it's not super high. I've said it a few times, it's still relatively low. This is not as high, I would say, as what we had with, you know, that derecha that we had like 2 weeks ago. It's not as high as that, but it is definitely still high enough to the point where if we do have anything discrete, there could be a tornado or two, especially with these storms. Again, these are the ones that I think if there is a tornado, we're going to see it out of this activity in Illinois. We could still see maybe something brief out of one of these other storms that have fired up anywhere between Jacksonville and Lafayette in Indiana, but the risk is definitely not nearly as high further to the north. But this storm here, just to the west of Decatur, I wouldn't be surprised if we got something with that. It's not as high as a risk as these storms that have a more favorable environment in general, more shear and curved photographs. Not a bad environment there. Really, the best environment today is in southern and southeastern parts of Illinois. All right, this is the storm in Indiana, just east of Newcastle. Again, we still have a hook. We still got rotation. This is what we're looking at. Again, live. This is looking directly at where we would have a tornado. Right now, it does not look like we have a tornado unless it is fully rain-wrapped, but we do at least have a view of a really impressive, at least shelf cloud here. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this. The CC drop on radar is probably just clear air contamination. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just clear air contamination. Let's go back to the live camera here. Center just a little bit more so you can see it. Yeah, the storms in Michigan do not look concerning to me, so I'm not super concerned about that activity. Connor, bottom right of your screen, has a good view of the Illinois storms, too. He's quickly approaching those. Connor might actually have a view of a lowering. I don't know, though. I can't tell. This is Brandon Kopic. Let's go to Connor Croft. That's not a view of a lowering. That is a view of some pipes or something. That's what it looks like right now in the Illinois storm. Very ominous skies. Can't really see anything yet. He's still pretty far away, but... Man, look at the storm here in Indiana. This is a really impressive view still. This is, again, the live shot on the I-70 traffic cam on State Route 1. Or, sorry, this is... Oh, this is on State Route 1, not Interstate 70. This is on State Route 1 live. Large shelf right now moving here right across State Route 1, just to the west of Hagerstown in Indiana. I still don't see anything on the ground. That might be a little... Maybe a little bowl. I can't really tell, though. Might be something right there. We just got a new display warning, yeah. We literally just added it today. We were supposed to have it 2 months ago, but we were basically just coding it. It took a pretty long time to code everything up. Also, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued by the Storm Prediction Center. Give me 1 second to pull that up. We do now have a severe thunderstorm watch. This is an unbelievable. This Supercell here in Indiana is unbelievable. This is what we're looking at for that new watch. So again, southeast Illinois, south and central parts of Indiana, northern Kentucky. Included in this new severe thunderstorm watch, the main concern will be damaging winds, but there will be a potential for a couple of tornadoes. This goes until 4 a.m. Eastern time. The greatest tornado risk, in my opinion, will be until about 10, maybe 11 o'clock Central time. So it's really over the next 2 to 3 hours, in my opinion. But this storm here in Henry County, Indiana, really impressive. I mean, this is a really impressive looking supercell right now. Right along State Route 1. Go back to radar real quick. That's what it looks like on radar. Yeah, there's your hook. You got a pretty clean hook. Got a little inflow as well. Approaching Cambridge City. Rotation still relatively broad, but it is still an impressive supercell. Here's that severe thunderstorm watch. So, again, pretty large area for tonight. Goes until 4 a.m. Eastern time or 3 a.m. Central time. Rotation right now does not look as impressive in Illinois. Still some broad areas of circulation. A lot of storm mergers happening here near the Nokomis area. Connor Croft is going to be approaching this area of combining thunderstorms, so we might see something develop out of that as this moves down to the southeast over the next several minutes. All right, I'm going to go back to Indiana on that live shot because this is just unbelievable. I mean, again, we got a really impressive view right now of this supercell in Indiana. This is on the State Route 1 traffic cam looking west. That right there, I can't tell if that's Scud or maybe a little, maybe rope tornado or something. It's looking more like Scud now. It's a little bit of a blurry camera, so we don't have a great view. You know, we don't have like a precision view, for example, but it looks like that might be the area of rotation. It would make sense. So that might be our area of rotation. It's a really impressive view, though. Looked like a tornado at first. It kind of did. It's so hard to tell with, you know, with cameras like this. You can never really, you know, you can't always tell. Just, it's a little bit distant. There's a camera that's closer. This is the camera inside of this right now. So this is inside of where we were just, you know, what we're looking at. So pretty windy right now. Can't tell what that is. That might be a lowering. That might be the lowering that we're looking at. This is looking into it here. So again, this is your supercell in southeast Indiana. Again, this is in Henry County, Indiana. On this live shot. Yeah, if you have photos or videos, highly recommend you at me on Twitter. Do not message me. My messages are spam beyond belief. I'm never gonna be able to catch up with those. I have probably about 1,000 messages that are unread right now. It's pretty bad. Still not seeing anything right now on the ground. A lot of Scud. I'm seeing like a lot of Scud, especially on the right side of this storm base. Circulation's intensifying in Newcastle. Let's go back to the radar. Yeah, it is. Trying to match this up. It might just be some contamination, though. That's really the area of rotation is right there. It's not as much as you would think right here. That's kind of off the actual storm itself. I have no doubt, though, that this is at least rotating. I mean, like, this is inside the storm right now. Definitely windy, heavy rain, obviously. Pretty common with a storm, but... This live shot, just unbelievable. I mean, we have the entire scope of the storm, and if there's a tornado, we'll probably see it. I don't think it's going to be rain-wrapped. Obviously, if you are in this warning, seek shelter. Don't try to look outside for this. How many subscribers for 350K? We're like 33 away right now. Tornado this afternoon in Murfreesboro? There was. Yeah, there was a tornado earlier in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Out of all places. It was pretty quick, it looked like, but... Wow. Some, like, really bright lightning strikes here, right on the camera. This is heading southeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour in... Again, this is in Henry County. It's going to be approaching Hagerstown. This is on State Route 1, looking westbound at the Supercell. Again, we don't have any definitive shot of a tornado. Not really even a definitive shot of a funnel cloud. It's just a lot of scud right now. On top of your screen is what we're looking at with this. It's very funnelish. I don't see anything definitive that shows a funnel cloud here. It's an impressive shot, no doubt, but I don't see anything other than just a lot of scud. Like, we might have a funnel somewhere in there. It's just not clear because we're looking at a blurry camera, which does not help. But we've seen tornadoes before that look scuddy too. They're just really quick usually. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we could have a tornado on the ground somewhere in here. It's just not definitive. Police scanner is saying NATO. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It might be rain wrap too. It's possible.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, we do have a new tornado warning. That is going to be for those in... this is radar indicated. It is for Wayne and Fayette counties in Indiana. If you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. And again, this is currently moving southeast at about 20 miles per hour. Cambridge City, just south of Hagerstown, in this warning. Wow. We might have a tornado on the ground. That is really tight rotation. Nothing on the CC, but that is really tight rotation right now in southeast Indiana. This is a live shot again of this storm. We're going to lose the visual here in a minute or two. It might be a rain-wrapped tornado. I didn't really think it would be, but it might be rain-wrapped. I don't see anything clear here. It says live in the storm. Still really just low visibility. That is really tight rotation on the latest scan, though. I mean, we might have a tornado on the ground. It's just, again, it's going to be fully rain-wrapped. Probably, at least. I don't see anything visually here that looks like it's on the ground, but the tightening is definitely concerning on radar. That is really tight. It might be on the ground right now, by the way. Like, it legitimately could be on the ground as we speak. CC just has not updated. Or did update, but it might be behind a minute or two. And very top left of your screen is, again, what we're looking at on this storm. Again, I don't see anything here that looks like it's on the ground, but again, it could be buried in the rain. It's very possible. This camera's located on State Route 1 looking westbound. It's literally looking into the storm. I'll have another radar scan in a second. Here's the latest scan. Still pretty strong rotation. No CC drop. The velocities do match up with reflectivity, so that rotation's still strong enough for there to be a tornado. It's moving southeast, again going towards Cambridge City, just west of Richmond, eventually going towards Waterloo. This is what we're looking at here on a live shot on State Route 1. We're going to lose visual again here in a second. Hey, shame for the $4.99. Yeah, what we're looking at here in the middle is just a massive rain shaft. Hey, Joe, for the $10 super chat. Too hot in Kansas. Yeah, it's going to be hot there for the next week or two. It's going to be brutally hot. Temperatures in the 100s. For most of the state, at least. I wouldn't say this storm is going to definitely strengthen, but it will probably maintain its intensity all the way through southwest Ohio. I was actually a little bit surprised they didn't put the watch to include parts of Cincinnati. A little bit surprised by that. Here's the latest scan. Still a tightening near Cambridge City. Again, nothing officially confirmed on this, but the velocities remain tight enough for there to be a tornado. This is again that live shot. We're going to stay here again for just a moment. Top left of your screen. We'll see if we can see any sort of power flashes if there is a tornado. Might not see anything, who knows, but we'll just stay here for a second. A lot of lightning and a lot of rain coming in, though. Thank you, Gabe, for the 1 gifted. Thank you, Dog, for becoming a 5-month VIP Velocity member. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Dan, for the super chat. Anything in Wisconsin? Not really tonight. It's a pretty low risk up in Wisconsin. There's like a marginal threat up there. Well, here comes the wind. The wind's picking up now. Wind and the rain picking up here. These lightning strikes are going crazy. All right, we're going to go back to radar here. We're going to stay on radar till the next radar scan. Again, this is the tornado warning that we're talking about in southeast Indiana, just southeast of Newcastle, approaching Cambridge City, Centerville, eventually going towards Bington. Long term, this is on track.
A new tornado warning
for Southwest Ohio. Do have a new tornado warning for Franklin County. That's going to replace this one, I believe.
A new tornado.
So we have a new tornado warning for Franklin County. I believe it's this one. Or actually, no, sorry. We have a new tornado warning in Illinois. Do we have 2? Oh, yeah, we have 2. Okay. All right, so we have 2 new tornado warnings. We got one in Illinois. That's going to be the one east of Springfield. We talked about this earlier. I kind of thought it might get tornadic soon. That's going to be just east of Springfield and west of Decatur in Illinois. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. That one's for Macon, Sangamon, and Christian counties in Illinois. And then the other one is for Franklin County in Indiana, and that is this one here, near Laurel, Metamora, Blooming Grove, Brookville, Mount Carmel, and Cedar Grove. That is eventually going to go into southwest Ohio. So that is another tornado warning. We're now up to 5 tornado warnings. We still have a tightening right now near Cambridge City. Again, I would not be surprised if we have a tornado right now moving into Cambridge City. I'm not saying there is, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have one. That rotation is still pretty dang strong right now. Seeing if there's any reports on this. This rotation's been tight for a while. If you guys do see any reports, you can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. If there is a tornado, it is more than likely rain wrapped. So just keep that in mind. And this is the rotation near Metamora. Blooming Grove, Brookville, Mount Carmel in the track of that. Let's go back to Indiana again. Or sorry, Illinois, I mean. This storm here near Ramsey, that one's still probably not close to producing any tornado risk because there's been a lot of mergers.
Tornado warning has been issued.
But the one that's further north, the one that's going to be just south of Taylorville, now a new tornado warning there. That is going to include areas just south of Taylorville, southwest of Shelbyville, going towards Coden. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Again, this one has been rotating for quite a while as well. That's the rotation. Currently moving to the southeast, on track for the Cowden area, near Pana. That's where it is. It's moving southeast. This is going to be for those in Shelby and Christian counties in Illinois. One east of Springfield, again, still has a hook. It probably at least has some level of rotation right now, moving to the southeast. Yeah, this is what it looks like right now. We got a total of 6 tornado warnings. Again, 4 storms are warned, but there are a total of 6 warnings. So we got 2 on this storm. We got 1 between Springfield and Decatur in Illinois. And we got 3 back over here in eastern Indiana. Again, 2 of which on the same exact storm. And we do have Connor Croftbaum right on your screen. He is approaching this storm near Ramsey. A lot of storm mergers there. That one might try to go tornadic in the next little while if it's able to stay discreet. And then we are still watching the one east of St. Louis. Would not be surprised if this tries to produce some level of a tornado risk as that moves down to the south-southeast. Man, the velocities here in Indiana, they've been tight this entire time. It's been pretty unbelievable. They are still pretty tight. Still wouldn't be surprised if we had a tornado on the ground. If there is one, it's going to be, again, pretty much fully rain-wrapped. This is the latest scan. A little bit broader on the latest scan. Despite there not being a debris signature, I still would not be surprised if we've had or had a tornado. Near Metamora, we still have some circulation as well. Let's go back to go to Illinois in a second. This is a live radar Omega cyclone port back over in southwest Ohio. Again, you can watch these live cameras inside the Radar Omega app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Still a pretty impressive view here as well on the camera. Got a couple other views. And this is looking at the storms in southeast Indiana. See if we can see anything on the southern one. Nothing really right now. We'll have probably pretty good views of these storms as they move into southwest Ohio. Southwest Ohio, be alert, by the way. You're definitely not out of the neck of the woods here for a, at least low-end tornado risk. Wait for another radar scan here in a moment. About the warning in Michigan. Is there even a warning in Michigan anymore? There was a tornado warning earlier in Michigan, but there no longer is one. I'm not really expecting anything severe at this point in Michigan other than maybe isolated damaging winds. The threat of tornadoes is definitely pretty close to 0 now. There you are, Roberts again for another $4.99. Thank you, Buckeyes, for the $1.99. Main concern in Kentucky will be damaging winds. What's expected tonight over the next really 3 hours or so is that we'll have some semi-discrete and discrete storms, and those are the ones capable of producing at least a low-end threat for tornadoes. And then once we go later into tonight, this is all going to kind of just cluster together into a full-blown mesoscale convective system that should eventually turn into mostly a wind threat, eventually moving into southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and parts of Kentucky. So that's what's expected there. Still broad circulation near Metamora going towards Brookville. Nothing's changed there. Rotation near Cambridge, it's still pretty tight. Nothing official on radar that's confirming this, but the rotation's tight enough where there could be a tornado. So if you're in Centerville, just west of Richmond, continue to stay in your safe place. If you are in Richmond, you are not currently in the warning, unless you're on like the west side of town. But definitely stay vigilant, as this storm is going to be moving in kind of your direction. I think it'll be mostly lightning and just rain in Richmond, but this storm's more on track for Abington and Boston. Down the road. Hey, Austin, are you watching, by the way? Oops. What about the new SBC outlook? I haven't even looked. Yeah, check it out. Guessing nothing's really changed. They haven't had a new outlook yet, I don't think. Yeah, there's no new update yet. Should have a new update here soon. It's a little bit late, but happens. Now let's go back to base velocities. Let's go to tilt 2 and 3. Still some rotation aloft on the storm west of Decatur, Illinois. Again, nothing on the ground right now, but we're still watching this closely. Moving southeast. And then the storm back over here south of Taylorville. Again, we're still watching for a tornado threat here. It's been mostly mid to low level rotation. Nothing really getting close to the surface, though, at least according to radar. They'll continue to watch that as it moves southeast. Looks like Brandon Kopic is going in for a full-blown intercept. Let's go to Brandon Kopic, who is live on both Radar Omega and on YouTube. This is his live shot, looking behind him. Bottom right of your screen is the storm that we're looking at here. This is tornado warned. Not sure if he's going to flip his camera around, but we'll stay here for a second. Austin, the warning numbers. I'm not sure if we can, like, center them somehow. So, like, maybe there's, like, a way to center it. So I have to kind of keep moving it back and forth. It's just, like, too far to the right, if you know what I mean. Maybe there's a way to center them. Alright, this is Brandon's view here. So Brandon Kopic looking into the storm. He's not looking in the storm anymore. We're looking at a black screen. Nice. Maybe Corey Gherkin has a view of this. Now, Corey Gherkin is also in this vicinity. I think they're in the same area. Oh, he's going up a different road. So he's going for the storm, but he's a little bit further east. So, and then this is Connor Croft, who is also looking in this area of storm activity. He is currently going through a jungle, and then he'll be intercepting the storm that is just southwest of the tornado warned cell in Illinois, back over near Vandalia. So, we'll see if we have any interesting views with him here soon.
Oh, this is starting to get messy.
Go back to this view for now. Let's go back to Indiana. I'm going to see if there's anything confirmed here yet. The one near Cambridge, again, it's been pretty strong rotation this entire time. Nothing confirmed, though, as of right now. Been pretty strong rotation. It's right over the town of Cambridge City. And it's going to be moving towards Centerville. And just southwest of Richmond in Indiana. That is currently moving out of the southeast. That's your area of rotation. Yeah, 2 of the tornado warnings have been let to expire. Again, those were just warnings that were already on 2 of the tornado warning cells, so they basically just extended the warning on a couple of these storms. But we still have 4 tornado warnings, and they're all in different storms. So it's definitely pretty active right now. Austin, I'll send you an example later. If you go back on my last stream, you might see it better in action. My last coverage. Alright, we'll stay here for a second. Thank you, Karen, for the 10 gifted members. I appreciate that. Put some hearts in the chat for Karen. We appreciate the generosity. There's apparently a new SVC outlook. I'm just waiting for that to pop up on here. Not really sure there'll be many changes, but maybe some small changes. Maybe like a wind change or something. Thank you, Ace, for the $15 super chat. Yeah, stay safe. If you're in the track of these storms, make sure you're taking the proper precautions. You know, do the right thing. Today is Mesoscale Madness Monday. Soon we'll be in tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday, so hatch down trampolines. Have flashlights ready to go. I am stunned with how tight this rotation's been in Indiana that we've not had a debris signature. I'm really shocked. This must just be really strong rotation in the low levels that's not reaching the ground, or we're just not getting a CC signature for whatever reason. That rotation's been unbelievably strong this entire time. I mean, even the, like the low to mid levels, like I think we have a pretty strong area of rotation, at least a wall cloud near Cambridge City, Indiana. Very possible that we still have a tornado as well. Now Connor's on the storm in Illinois. Pretty decent lowering. A little inflow as well. This storm is not tornado warned. It's actually only severe warned. It's the one near Vandalia.
Should be coming pretty much right
So it's just to the
here.
south of the tornado warned cells. It's a live shot there.
What the heck, bro? What was that? No way, I just got stuck.
Did Connor go into mud?
What?
No shot, he got stuck.
We're stuck in a ditch. What the hell was that?
Stuck in a ditch.
Like, are you kidding me? How did that even happen?
There's no shot. 4 times this year, 3 times being mud, and this time it's a ditch.
The tornado, we're dead, but guess we just hope it doesn't do that. Dude,
what was that timing?
What am I even
like,
stuck in?
well, I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could say something better, but I mean, hopefully you stay safe. That's crazy.
Dude, the gravel just like, the gravel randomly just goes away. I didn't even see it. I couldn't see it from where I was driving. The gravel goes away, and it's just like a massive hole in the ground that goes into like a drainage pond. I mean, like I actually did damage to my car. That's how bad that was. So, I actually did damage to my car. That's insane.
All right.
Literally insane. That is so...
I have no comment.
Damn it, dude.
Let's go back to radar. Hopefully stay safe. I literally have no comment. All right, back over to Cambridge City. This is the latest scan in Indiana. Again, rotation's been broadening over the last scan, at least. It looks much broader than before. We'll see if that's just a little, velocities error or something, or if it tightens again. I would still be in your safe place, though, if you're in Centerville, Cambridge City, or Waterloo. It's, again, currently moving to the east, southeast, and southeast. So stay in your safe place if you're in that warning. Back over west of Oxford, still have a tornado warning here in southeast Indiana. This is on track again for southwest Ohio. If you are in Hamilton, Springdale, Fairfield, or north of Cincinnati, be vigilant. This storm might be tornadic as it moves into southwest Ohio, so we'll be watching that closely. And this is the live radar Omega cyclone port looking in the direction of these storms. Got a few of them. Nothing super clear right now. A lot of high clouds, which is kind of playing with the view of the actual, towering cumulonimbus clouds, but just had a flash of lightning on the camera here just a moment ago. See if we get another one. We just had a lightning strike there. Let's go back to Lebanon. Lebanon also has a view of just some low-level clouds. Pretty good amount of low-level clouds there. That might keep the atmosphere a little bit more stabilized, especially with all the showers and downpours that we've had there in southwest Ohio. And Brandon Kopic, let's go to him real quick. He has a view of a lowering, it looks like. He's on the other storm. So he's on the tornado warned cell right now. This is Brandon Kopic again on Radar, Omega, and on YouTube. He is near Rosamond, south of Pana, Illinois. Storm's moving southeast, eventually going towards St. Elmo and Altamont.
Oh my gosh, it keeps fogging up. I have never had this happen like this before, guys.
Oh, Brandon's going drone style. Oh man, I didn't know Brandon Kopic was doing a drone. I wasn't listening. I should actually turn on the stream. Brandon Kopic's been doing some major upgrades recently. He now has a drone. This is the tornado warning cell in Illinois. Brandon Kopic's in the area, by the way, if you might want to contact him. Alright. Letting Connor know. I don't know if Brandon Kopic will go in his direction, but never know.
Not looking tornado impact by any means.
Let's go back to, this is Connor Croft, by the way. Again, he got stuck in a ditch. You know, apparently his car got damaged to some extent, at least on the bottom, because his tire, like, dropped into, like, a hole. But this is the other storm. He still has a view of it. It's not tornado warned. It's the one near Vandalia. Doesn't look imminent for a tornado, just a little scuddy lowering there. Obviously, the camera sideways, because the car is literally stuck in a, you know, hole. So, but, yeah. We'll, keep Connor at the bottom right for now. And then again, we still got Corey Gherkin, who is currently moving westbound. He's going to be intercepting these storms as well, so if he has any view, we'll go to him as well. The storm back over east of St. Louis, the one near Stoughton, going towards Pocahontas. This one does not look imminent, but we'll continue to watch that as it moves southeast. All right, let's go back to Indiana again. Check on that tornado warning cell. This is the latest scan near Cambridge. This rotation's died out very fast. So the storm here near Cambridge City and Centerville. This one does not appear as if it is imminent to produce a tornado. But it did earlier. It looked like it might do something. But at this point, it is definitely broadening out. Not nearly a strong rotation. Moving to the east, southeast, and southeast, going towards Abington. Sorry, I'm listening to Connor as well. All right. And then the storm further south, this is the one near Brookville. This one also, the tornado warning expires in 5 minutes. Just some broad circulation. Moving east-southeast, going towards the Mount Carmel area. So if you are in this particular warning, continue to stay in your safe place. Goes for 5 more minutes, both these warnings do. And then the ones in Illinois, both go for another 20 to 35 minutes. The one near Decatur goes for about 20 more minutes. Rotation again in the mid-levels has been stronger than the low levels, which is pretty typical, but haven't seen anything really definitive that looks like it's about to drop a tornado. But as this goes towards Blue Mound and Stonington, make sure that you are continuing to stay in your safe place in case that does drop something. Brandon Kopic's on this storm. We'll go back to him probably in a second as that continues to move down to the east-south or south-southeast over the next several minutes. We'll put Corey Gherkin at the bottom right for now. All right. Since we got a second, nothing's confirmed right now on the ground. Thank you, Mark, for the $9.99. All right. Thank you, Mark, for the $1.99 or $9.99. Yeah, the severe thunderstorm watch goes until 4 a.m. Eastern across Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. Thank you, Rubber, for the $4.99. I did not get cheese curds. No, I got McDonald's. Thank you, Vortex, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Or welcome back to the Velocities. That is. And also thank you, Coopster, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, honestly, it's kind of one of those situations. I don't know what you do in that situation unless you got, like, storm chasers in the area. That's why I threw out the idea that he should, you know, contact Brandon Kopic. But Brandon's currently chasing a storm. He's probably going to drop south anyways, so we'll probably be able to help out, is my guess. Or maybe somebody else will. Who knows? But it sucks. No, but Connor did not get stuck in the mud. This is not the same sort of situation. Unfortunately, it sounds like he got stuck in, like, legitimately just a pothole almost. So, but it is what it is. Thank you, Candy, for the 2 months. Thank you, Marissa, for the 2 months as well. Apparently, we hit 350,000 subscribers. I do appreciate the support. Oh yeah, he already has a tow truck there. Yeah, Connor's getting help right now. Unwarned tornado? What are we talking about? I don't think there's any unwarned tornado right now. Not anything that I'm seeing. Got a couple more storms firing up between the two different clusters. We got one near Terre Haute. Got one west of Bloomington, one south of Charleston. Nothing looks imminent for severe weather. The two over here near the border, these two still trying to rotate, but honestly, at this point, I think both these tornado warnings will probably be let to expire.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Timing's pretty incredible. We do have a new tornado warning for Union, Wayne, and Fayette counties in Indiana. So if you're in Cambridge City, Centerville, Waterloo, or near Bington, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. It's again currently moving down to the southeast. Brownsville will also be on the track of this in Indiana. Yeah, somebody's helping out Connor right now, so he should be able to get unstuck. Connor is back on the roadway, I think. Big W. Put Connor bottom right real quick. Let's get some W's in the chat for whoever towed him out. I don't know who did, but some W's. Back on the road. How bad will this be? I don't know. I don't think today's tornado risk is that crazy. I mean, we have 3 warnings right now, but I think a lot of today will be mostly wind after, 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. But it's a really short window. I mean, again, this window of tornadic activity is really anywhere from now up until probably, give or take, up until like 10 to 11 o'clock, give or take an hour on that. So, I mean, a lot of what we're seeing right now already is that all this activity here is clustering together. This should be predominantly a wind threat in the next hour, not really much of a tornado risk. And then the storm activity near the Pana and Cowden area, that should also be mostly more of a wind threat. Brandon Kopic is on this storm. Let's quickly go back to Brandon. That's Connor. Let's go back to Brandon real quick. This is Brandon Kopic's view. He was using his drone. I didn't see really any definitive lowering on it. And they have just canceled that tornado warning, so that's no longer tornado warned. Makes sense. Nothing really looked imminent there, so at this point, this tornado warning has been now canceled for those in Pana in Illinois. The only tornado warning that we have left right now in Illinois for the time being is the one between Springfield and Decatur that is currently moving to the southeast. So continue to stay in your safe place if you are in this warning. That is going to be for those in Blue Mound and Stonington. And that is, again, currently moving down to the southeast towards the Mo, Equa, and Macon areas. Connor Croft actually has a pretty good view, though, right now of that other storm that's not tornado warned. Lightning flashes will give you a better view once we see a little bit of lightning. You can see it right there. A lot of scuddy action here. This is near the Mulberry storm, or Mulberry Grove storm west of Vandalia. As the... I was investigating his car. Hey, stream for the 199. Have you reconsidered the shirtless gritty yet? No.
Alright.
Appreciate the 199.
Well, we're out. Thanks to that. Thanks to John.
We currently only have 2 tornado warnings.
Chad.
Again, the other one was
job.
canceled in Illinois. We have 11 severe thunderstorm warnings left. Hey, Jinxie, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. The Wolves for the $2 super chat. Hey, Taz for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Just a little bumper damage.
I'm glad I could help. Mount Carmel, Illinois.
and maybe a flat
I think
tire.
overall
Not
it'll be
sure.
mostly just a wind threat down that direction. I wouldn't be too concerned down there. Keep Connor bottom right. I wouldn't be super concerned down there, in my opinion. Fastest tow service ever? I don't know where that tow truck came from. I think it was just on the road and happened to see Connor or something. Because like, I don't think he called anybody. I could be wrong. Connor has a flat tire? Does he? Did he say that? I was listening, but not listening close enough, apparently. He said maybe. Well, that would suck, too. It's kind of a sucky situation to begin with, because he didn't even see the pothole or whatever that was. Tornado threat end time and EST time. Probably, well, right now it would be 9:30, so probably around 11 to 12 o'clock. So we got like an hour. I mean, it's not over after 11 or 12 o'clock, just the greatest threat is basically between now and about 11 or 12. Honestly, I think the greatest threat will be up until about 11 Eastern. And then after that, it kind of pans into more of a wind threat. And that's when all these storms really just cluster together into a line. And I changed to Eastern time zone. I have it on Central because we are still looking at, like, Illinois, which is Central. At least that part of Illinois, I think, is. Still broad circulation right now west of Richmond in Indiana, but it is still tornado warned. The storm near Oxford is not tornado warned, just a special weather statement. This is a live shot here in Southwest Ohio on the Radar Omega Cyclone Port. Again, you can watch all these live cameras. They have dozens of them on the Radar Omega app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. They also have storm chasers live in the app like Connor Croft, Brandon Kopic, and Corey Gherkin. All three of which we have on our stream as well. A little bit of lightning in the distance. Again, this storm will have some lightning. You can also see the lightning detection on Radar Omega. Not a whole lot of lightning, but there's definitely enough to make that a little bit of an electrifying storm. And we also have some rotation back actually northeast of Noblesville. Not much, but there's a little bit of circulation there. Northeast and north of Indianapolis, moving down to the southeast and east-southeast. It's actually moving more east. I'll take that back. It's moving more east towards Anderson and Muncie. So that'll be something to watch for over the next little while. Let's go back to Illinois. All these storms right now near Vandalia, they just look mostly like wind. I honestly think this tornado threat is already starting to lower here in Illinois. I think this storm, though, has the greatest chance of producing some level of a tornado threat as that moves towards Route 51, eventually going towards Shelbyville, east of Taylorville. And so, again, that is currently moving down to the southeast at this time. So continue to stay vigilant if you're in the warning. That one looks like the main area of rotation, though. But it's mostly mid-level rotation still. Nothing on the ground, at least as of right now. Thank you, Torissa, for the 1999. Appreciate the generosity. The Blake for becoming a member. And welcome to the Velocities. Also, later in the stream, if the weather is a bit quieter, we will be doing a fan mail opening. We have not done one in weeks. I have, I think, 5 packages or four packages and envelopes to open. We were going to do a members only stream for it, but I think we're going to start doing fan mail on just like actual streams as long as the weather stays active, just to make things a bit easier. And coming up soon, we will have a members only stream for the game Outbreak. It's a storm chasing game. It's a video game. We'll probably have that at some point here in the near future, probably with Connor Croft, and then we'll also have a GeoGuessr stream again in the future, and possibly another Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? So some stuff coming up. Connor's back on the road. He sure is. He sure is. Bottom right of your screen. Thank you, Dylan, for the $2 super chat. I don't think Indianapolis is going to be too bad. Again, I think it'll be mostly just wind. Right now, we got a lot of storms that have fired up, and they're going to continue to increase in coverage over the next few hours. The greatest concern will still be coming out of storms like this that are more discrete and semi-discrete. Same thing goes over here in Illinois. These storms that are kind of in between them, they're not really that impressive. There's been a lot more cloud cover, less instability, just not as, you know, impressive of an environment. I think it'll be more wind and then maybe like an isolated brief tornado or something like that. So back to Connor Croft. He's currently in the a surge of wind right now near Pleasant Mound in Illinois. Wind's picking up here, heavy rain right near Interstate 70.
Some wind here, chat.
Bottom right of your screen is where he's at. Just to the west of Vandalia. St. Louis can be good for tonight. Yeah, I don't think there'll be much in St. Louis. Most of the activity should stay to your east. But if for some reason you do get severe weather, damaging winds is possible.
We're a mess.
The storm approaching Muncie will be mostly just gusty winds, Kathy.
Okay, time for
This is the new SPC outlook for tonight. Let me put this up first. We do have a new SBC outlook for tonight.
Dang, it is coming down. Raining in buckets now. Got some hail in here.
Actually, interesting. All right, this is the latest SBC outlook. It probably goes along with what we've seen so far. It's kind of interesting. So this is the tornado risk that we initially had, right? That's the initial, that was earlier today. That was the tornado risk that was outlined. This is the latest from the SPC. You can kind of see it go back and forth here a little bit. They have removed the tornado risk from northern Illinois, which rightfully so, there's really no storms up there. They have actually shifted this 5% tornado risk further to the west. So more of southern central Illinois is now included in that 5% tornado risk. It's not a major change by any means. I mean, honestly, probably maybe the majority at this point of the tornado activity has already happened there. But that does make sense with what we've seen so far. So just a little bit of a shift to the west. Also, they've shifted the 5% tornado risk a bit further to the east to include southwest Ohio. So some minor changes there. And then the 2% tornado risk also goes a little bit further east into actually western Iowa now. So a couple small changes to the latest SPC outlook. The slight risk, I believe, has grown a little bit more for wind across Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and southwest Ohio, but no significant wind threat. So nothing like, patched wise, meaning that there's currently not really a risk outlined for damaging winds that are higher than like 70 miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at right now. Still have a tornado warning in Illinois for 5 more minutes. And then we still have our tornado warning in Indiana right now, west of Richmond. So we're still watching 2 storms. Relatively broad circulation on both storms. I'm not super concerned about either one right now. But if something does become more concerning, we'll obviously let you know. Honestly, the storm that's currently west of Anderson right now, that one definitely is rotating a little bit. So we'll have to watch this one closely. Just to the north of Indianapolis, a little bit of circulation. And this one near Brookville might be trying to rotate too. A little bit of contamination, but maybe a little bit of rotation there, heading here into southwest Ohio. We'll be watching this one closely. We're in a bit of a radar hole, so not a great view of this storm. It's a little bit better of a view. Definitely a little bit of circulation near Brookville. Might be like a non-precip area of rotation. It's on track for Fairfield and Hamilton in southwest Ohio. Also, just a little heads up, tomorrow we might be live again. Another slight risk. It's another huge area. Another slight risk, though, from Iowa back into Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, and Indiana. The main concern overall in nature will be damaging winds. The potential for a couple of tornadoes will also exist. And then Wednesday, we might be live again. I think, again, Wednesday might be a potential for a derecho. Not a guarantee, but it has the capability to be something bigger. So we'll be watching that closely. I think we got really 3 active days of severe weather ahead, perhaps even into Thursday. We'll probably be live at least 1 or 2 more times this week. So stay tuned. I'm not entirely sure what my plan is, though, right now for being live on Wednesday. I don't know when. It depends on the timing, honestly. If Wednesday's more of like an evening threat, we'll be live. Probably not in the studio, though. Thank you, Taz, for the $5 super chat. We'll be sending you something from our family soon. I'm excited. Can't wait. If you want to send any fan mail, we do have a link in the description now that's dedicated to fan mail. It's like the 5th highest link in the description now. So, Bloomington, Indiana, any concerns? Not really. I mean, again, mostly just a wind threat, maybe an isolated brief tornado. I'm not really concerned too much about this tornado risk, though, right now with this activity. It's just not really that organized or even that impressive. I'm mostly concerned about this activity here that's going to be going into Ohio for an isolated tornado. Same thing goes for the storms over here. Again, mostly a wind threat here near Interstate 70, and then this one just to the southwest of Decatur. That could still produce a tornado. I'm not super confident it will. There has been mid-level rotation with this at times, but it's very broad circulation near the surface. Like, that's the rotation that we're talking about, so... But this warning does expire in 2 minutes. We'll see if they issue a new one or just kind of let it expire. Thank you, Mark, for the 199. Fan mail opening live. Yeah, we'll do it later in the stream. If there's no tornado warnings, we'll probably do it whenever it's a little bit quieter. All right, we'll stay zoomed out for the time being. Will St. Louis get any storms tomorrow? It's pretty likely St. Louis is going to get some storms tomorrow. This is what tomorrow looks like right now. So we'll have more than likely a line of thunderstorms moving across Iowa tomorrow morning, eventually moving towards St. Louis during the afternoon. I don't really know if we're going to be live tomorrow because of how early it's going to be, but we might. We'll see. If we go live, it'll probably be closer to when this activity's near St. Louis. Mostly just a wind threat. And then once we go into Wednesday, I have it on my top monitor. I'm waiting to see what the HRRR model shows for Wednesday. Because Wednesday, again, it has the potential to be a derecho or some sort of mesoscale convective system, sort of what we're going to see tonight, but further off to the northwest. Like, the starting point would be here, and it eventually move through Illinois, basically the same track as what we just saw like 2 weeks ago. I'm not saying there will be a derecho, I'm just saying like the general area of where we could see that line of storms develop would be basically in the same area. So... do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Salem, Sandoval, and Centralia all included in this warning for mostly just a wind threat. There is a tornado possible label on that. All right, that tornado warning here in Illinois has now been let to expire. We only have one tornado warning left, and that is back over here in Indiana, which we're actually getting damage reports. We're going to actually look at these because it might be interesting. Because this is an area that we had a very tight couplet on radar, just no CC drop. So let's see what this damage activity says. West of Cambridge City, minor trees and power lines reported down in the area. That's near Dublin, Indiana at 8:10, so about 35 minutes ago. And then in Cambridge City, the same report. So minor trees, I don't know what, I'm guessing they mean like small trees, because I don't know what would be minor about a tree.
Never gonna hear the end of the mud and ditch jokes after that one. That one was just inexcusable.
That's what Connor just said. I don't know if you guys heard that. But power lines also being reported down in the area back over in Cambridge City. This tornado warning does continue for 15 more minutes, so. You guys hear that, by the way? Just need to make sure. I don't know if you heard Connor talking or not. It's gonna be going through my phone. I gotta set it up on my computer, but we have like a communication system now. We have Zello. Pretty crazy stuff. Please go to Brandon's. We'll go to Brandon's in a second.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, we have a new tornado warning. This is the other storm that we're talking about. That's near Alexandria, north of Anderson. Seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible. That actually might be on the ground right now. Might have a tornado on the ground right now near Perkinsville. That's moving east-northeast, going to be going towards Florida. Not the state, the town, apparently. Linwood and Prosperity. That is more than likely on the ground. More than likely on the ground, near Perkinsville. I'm gonna wait for one more scan and then we'll kind of verify from there. But more than likely a tornado on the ground right now moving towards Alexandria. State Route 9 will also be in the track of this. Again, just northeast of Indianapolis in Indiana. We've been talking about this for a while. And yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely a tornado. Yeah, this is definitely a tornado by the looks of it. Northwest of Hamilton. And moving east-northeast. Waiting for the velocities to update here. Not a huge CC drop by any means, but definitely a small tornado or something like that near W300 North Road. It's on track for Alexandria. It's a pretty classic looking hook. That's almost undoubtedly a tornado, though. That's the little area of debris that we have. It's gonna be right there. I'm gonna move up a little bit so you can see the entire warning, but that right there again would be your tornado. Moving east-northeast. This is moving east-northeast at 25 miles per hour. Again, this is in Madison County, Indiana. This does include Alexandria, Frankton, and Linwood. Those are the three main locations. Just north of Anderson, by the way. Anderson's very populated here in Indiana. So this is definitely not a, a small area. Let's see if we have any traffic cams here. I'm not sure if we're going to see anything, but see if we have any live shots. This is still technically radar indicated for what it's worth, but just according to radar, we have a little CC drop right where the hook is. Moving to the east-northeast. Again, on track for Linwood and Prosperity. Just to the northeast of Indianapolis. There are a few live cams, but they're all south of Anderson, so we won't have a live shot on this, but... Alright, waiting for another radar scan here. As just
This
been
is an
upgraded.
urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
This is now officially an observed tornado here. This is technically, I'm pretty sure it's just radar confirmed. Yeah, we have a pretty sizable tornado now. The debris signature is growing here. It's on track for Linwood, Prosperity, and Florida, eventually going towards Alexandria, which is more populated here in Indiana. So again, you got to get to your safe place if you're in this warning. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building as this moves off to the east-northeast. So again, this is definitely a tornado, there's no doubt. We have a pretty sizable debris signature right now east of Perkinsville. That's really over, it looks more like farmland. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks more like farmland. That's going to be moving towards State Route 128. Again, just to the south and east of the Frankton area is in direct line of this particular tornado. Alexandria, you need to be in your safe place. That's a storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom. And then also back over near Prosperity in the north side of Anderson, you should be in your safe place. That's, again, the line it's taking right now to the east-northeast. I am retweeting a video on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX of there being rotation in Cambridge City, Indiana. That was a little while ago, but that storm earlier was producing an unbelievable, tightening. So there is at least video now of there being rotation there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
I have a new tornado warning. Bond and Madison counties included in this new tornado warning. So that's going to be over here. Not sure where, though. Bond County and Madison counties, or in Illinois, sorry. That's Illinois. So we have a new tornado warning in Illinois, east of St. Louis. That is going to be on this storm, near Old Ripley, Pocahontas, Highland, Grand Fork, and Marine. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building as that moves down to the south-southeast. Might be just another situation where we have strong, mid to low-level rotation somewhere. Not seeing anything definitive. Maybe back up near... It's probably going to be back up in here somewhere. South of Staunton. This is now tornado warning, though. Again, for Bond and Madison counties, Illinois.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right. Got another tornado warning. That is for Hamilton, near Mount Carmel. Riley and Millville are in the track of this one. If you are in Butler County, Ohio, or Franklin County, Indiana, you need to seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Again, another tornado warning here. Rotation is the tightest back over to the northeast of Brookville. So Millville, Riley, south of Oxford.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And we have another tornado warning in Illinois. So I think 4 new tornado warnings in the last like minute and a half. I have another tornado warning. That is a huge supercell just to the south of Vandalia. Lots of lightning, very heavy rainfall. North of it's going to be approaching Salem, Illinois, but just to the west of Kinmundy. Going to be going towards Sandoval and eventually towards Luca. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. All right, so yeah, we're now up to 5 tornado warnings. We have 1 on the ground northeast of Indianapolis, and we got 4 other ones. All right, we're gonna go first to the one that's on the ground. We did have a CC drop on this, and that CC drop is gone. So this tornado may have occluded. We still have a tight couplet though, at least on the last radar scan. We'll see what it looks like on this most recent one. This could still be on the ground, so if you are in Alexandria or Frankton in Indiana, continue to stay in your safe place. Again, this was the debris signature that we had a scan ago, so about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So there was a debris signature, definitely a tornado. Has occluded on the latest scan. We'll verify that though with one more radar scan to make sure that this is definitely not on the ground as that moves east-northeast. Make sure you have phones charged up, laptops powered, you know, whatever source of light you have tonight, because there is a chance again that you lose power tonight. So make sure that all that stuff is ready to go. Make sure that you have all that stuff ready to go. And if you have any loose lawn items outside, like, you know, trampolines, because again, tomorrow is tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday. If you have any trampolines outside, hatch them down. If you got loose lawn items, make sure to bring those inside, or, you know, again, hatch them down, whatever you got to do to keep that stuff intact. As we do have a potential again for damaging winds and even a few tornadoes tonight, again, across much of the Ohio Valley, anywhere from just about east of St. Louis all the way back into southwest Ohio in the short term. And then down the road, it'll form more into a line moving into Kentucky. All right, we're waiting for another scan in Indiana. I'm going to stay here for now, in Illinois. Huge shout out to Seymour for the 10 gifted members. I appreciate that. Put some hearts in the chat for Seymour. Oh, we forgot to change it. There we go. Hey, Ding for the $10 super chat. I have not watched that movie yet. I have yet to watch it. Tornado warning in Richmond, or the Richmond area, was just canceled. We're back down to 4 tornado warnings. Still don't see a debris signature on the storm southwest of Alexandria. So this one likely, again, has occluded. It was on the ground, but it looks like it has occluded over the last couple of scans. There is a storm merger by the looks of it, or kind of just a storm sitting here to the south that's probably playing around with it a little bit. So this storm might not be imminent to produce another tornado. We're going to see what the velocities look like, though, because this one was on the ground. See what the velocities look like. There's still some rotation there. As of 8:55, still some rotation south of Frankton. Still on track for Alexandria. Definitely a storm that you should still definitely be in your safe place for, because if it does reorganize, we very easily could see another tornado develop out of that as it moves northeast. This is a live shot on Radar Omega, on the Radar Omega app. This is one of their live cameras just to the north of Cincinnati. Got a few flashes of lightning on the right side of your screen. It's going to be pretty dark. It's obviously dark. It is nighttime, so it's going to be hard to see really a whole lot of what's happening out there, but if we do see anything, we'll obviously pan to one of those cameras. Right now, rotation on radar does not look super strong. Still some broad circulation right now moving into southwest Ohio. Millville, Riley, eventually Hamilton will be in the track of this. So continue to stay in your safe place if you are on those warnings. Let's go back to Illinois. Again, we have 2 tornado warnings right now in Illinois. We got one back over near Pocahontas, and then we got the other one just west of Kinmundy. The one that's near Kinmundy is going to be a very rain-wrapped tornado if we have one. It is moving south towards Interstate 57. So if you are in this warning, continue to stay in your safe place as that moves towards Salem. And then back over near Pocahontas, I'm not seeing a definitive area of rotation here. We'll have to look at the base velocities and go to like tilt 3 to actually see it. It's more than likely going to be that back up there near the Alhambra area. That's moving southbound. So again, these 2 tornado warnings that we have, the rotation itself is moving south-southeast on both of those storms. Wait for the next radar scan here. Let's quickly go to Brandon Kopic. It's Connor Croft. Let's go to Brandon. Brandon Kopic, he's live on Radar Omega and on YouTube. He's on the northern side of that tornado-warned cell near Vandalia. It's a complete lightning show right now. I'm just kind of seeing if we can see that lightning show in real time. The Radar Omega app detecting a boatload of lightning. You may have just tuned in when lightning decides not to happen, so that's possible. There's no lightning right now.
Alright guys, well we're continuing.
It's wild.
South.
As we tune in, there's no lightning.
Directly in front of us, but that's not our current plan. Our current plan will likely be to get to the tornado warning to the west of us.
We'll go back to him in a jiffy if we do see anything there. Back to the Indiana tornado warning. This one was again observed or confirmed by radar. That rotation is broadening on the last few scans. Again, I'm not seeing anything on the ground anymore, but if you are in Alexandria, continue to stay in your safe place just in case this does try to recycle and attempts to drop a tornado as that moves off to the northeast towards State Route 9. And then back over near Oxford and Hamilton. Again, still not seeing anything really definitive. It really appears to me more like a wind threat. There might be some sort of like non-precip area of rotation near the Mount Carmel area. So that might be what we're looking for here. But nothing on the ground, at least from what I'm seeing. Still a pretty broad area of circulation moving east-southeast. This is what the storm looks like right now. So again, that is currently moving east-southeast. Bottom right of your screen, by the way, that is definitely just the no signal thing. Connor's no signal thing is broken. It does not say no signal, so don't be caught off guard by that. It's not actively happening. Thank you, Justin, for the $5 super chat. Cincinnati, just be weather aware. This storm will probably drop kind of in this direction over time. It's going to drop more down to the south over time, but it's not really going in the direction of Cincinnati. Yeah, Connor's had some technical issues, so just letting you know. A CH for the 1999. Louisville will probably just be mostly a wind threat, because again, what's going to happen is that this is all going to upscale into more of a mesoscale convective system, which basically means we're going to be dealing with more of a line of thunderstorms, so it'll be mostly a wind threat for those here in like southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Kentucky, and as well as parts of Ohio. But for the next hour or two, we are going to continue to see this tornado risk, at least to some extent. So again, we have 3 areas that we're looking at mostly for that tornado risk. Again, the main one being back over in parts of, like, you know, again, kind of like on the Ohio and Indiana border. We got another one that's really probably going to be more of a short-lived tornado risk back over near the Muncie area, and then one that's more with that mesoscale convective system that's developing east of St. Louis. Yeah, it looks like Corey Gherkin's going to be flying a drone here in a second, so we'll stay on Corey Gherkin, bottom right of your screen. We'll go full cam to him in a second, but he's going to be doing a full-blown drone. Corey Gherkin's back over in Salem, near Tonti, just south of this tornado-warned cell, or he's kind of right on the cusp of that tornado-warned cell. Is radar indicated as of right now? Not really seeing anything definitive, but if we have a tornado, it's almost undoubtedly rain wrapped. So that is what we'd be looking at there. I can't remember if Corey has his drone hooked up to his like live feed, so I'll have to wait and see. I'll be honest with you, I don't really see much here. Like this tornado warning near Pocahontas. Not really seeing much. I don't know. This one's a little bit questionable. I'll continue to stay in your safe place just in case, but I'm not seeing anything definitive here. That looks like it's on the ground or anything like that. Is Reed Timmer in the area? Reed Timmer is golfing right now. I literally just saw his tweet like 10 minutes ago. I know Connor Croft is out there. Connor Croft is on the tornado warning cell, I believe. The western one. Let's full cam to him real quick as he loses connection. Yeah, he's going towards that western tornado warning, so the one just east of St. Louis is where he's going right now.
I mean, the snow service is killing me here. I can't even see the updated radar.
So Connor's on track for that right now. I mean, me and Connor were golfing last week. It was fantastic. All right, let's go back to the Indiana observed warning. And this is not on the ground anymore, so this warning will probably just be downgraded to radar indicated at any time. But if you are in the warning, continue to stay in your safe place. They did update the southern warning, but that's still radar indicated. This one near Alexandria and Frankton and Hamilton. Again, no CC drop anymore. Does not appear as if it's on the ground anymore. Rotation's definitely weakening pretty quickly. Been really occluding fast. So I don't think this one's going to produce another tornado unless we see this just reorganize into one storm. So again, maybe some sort of storm merger action could maybe increase the tornado threat, but I would say it's a pretty low chance that redevelops into something. And then the storm here... And the storm here back over along the Ohio and Indiana border. That one still has broad circulation. It's just going to be south of Oxford, approaching Hamilton and Fairfield. I have a couple of live cameras on Radar Omega. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on these as that storm does move eastbound. The tornado warning also in Bond and Madison County, Illinois, was also just condensed. It is still radar indicated rotation. But no update on the one in central Indiana, northeast of Indianapolis. Can you do a live stream chasing tornado with Connor? We might do that in the future, but I would have to go on like a low risk day, and it would have to be something that's in like the northern plains, because we go live a lot for like, you know, some of these smaller events even. So like today would be a day where I would not be able to go. Like I would have to be in the studio in case we did have to go live. I honestly was very 50-50 about going live today. We didn't even schedule a live stream. I just went live basically because, you know, today was really 50-50 on anything really getting going. And it definitely has gotten going. There's no doubt. I mean, this is what was kind of expected, you know. If a couple storms started to rotate, we're going to go live, because that's basically what today was going to be. And so far, it's been that way. Again, we have several storms that have kind of been discrete. These ones are still discrete, semi-discrete. So as long as they stay semi-discrete, there will be a tornado risk. So for the foreseeable future, which is like the next 30 minutes to an hour, we're still going to have at least some level of a tornado threat. But today was really 50-50. Connor should get a camper, go stream in the back when he's storm chasing. A camper would get flipped over so easily from a tornado. There's definitely not be safe. Let's go to Corey Gherkin. He has a drone. Look at that. That's the drone shot right now of the tornado warning cell in southern central Illinois. It's the one just south of Vandalia for Marion County. Not seeing anything yet. This is not a static image, by the way. It was a very highly electrified storm. There's not as much lightning right now. But we're going to see if we can see anything. If we get a flash of lightning, we might see, you know, you never know, we might see like a wall cloud or something. Corey is also on the Radar Omega app. He's also on YouTube. You can check him out. Should be a link in the description to him, I think. If I added it. I did not add that. I had to add that. One moment. Basically, everybody I know, or not really everybody I know, but I know Brandon Kopic and Corey Gherkin both have drones, so. pretty lit. And Connor Croft is going to be getting one, I think, next year. Just found a bunch of bagels in a dumpster at Panera and Carbondale. Okay. Very interesting. Thanks for letting me know. I actually used to work at a Panera, so only reason why I really read that. There was a little flash of lightning, but not much. Another one. Corey says there's a lowering. I think you can hear him.
It's a little lowering in there, but I don't think it's anything.
I think you can hear him. There is a lowering, though, from what he's saying. Possible tornado forming in North Dakota. We'll check it out real quick. I'm not really going to be talking about much about North Dakota. I don't even know where that would be, but I don't see much. This all looks extremely messy. Mostly a wind threat, in my opinion. Brandon just found a trampoline in the road. Bro, tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday came 3 hours early. Got a legit trampoline in the road. This is from the Tornado Warren Cell. This is Brandon Kopic. He's on Radar Omega and on YouTube. We'll just go full screen to him. Alright, let's get some trampoline emojis in the chat. Tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday came a couple hours early. I mean, there's no shot. I don't know if Brandon knows our saying. I'm not sure. Put that in his chat.
At max velocity, trampoline just removed from the road.
Are there tacos? I didn't see any. No Taco Bell. Well, that was Brandon Kopic rescuing a flying trampoline. Who would have thunk? Oh, man. Alright. Back to the tornado warnings. We still have 4. Again, we got 2 in Illinois. Both of these, again, still broad circulation, moving south-southeast. This one is still observed for whatever reason. But this one's just going to be let to expire. That rotation's died out quite a bit near Alexandria. That warning does go for 5 more minutes. And then the one in southwest Ohio right now. Still some rotation west of Hamilton. So they'll probably at least continue with this warning for a little bit longer. But it does not look very impressive. To me, this looks more like a wind threat. I'm not seeing anything definitive that's imminent on this storm. But if you're in Hamilton or the Fairfield area, just continue to stay in your safe place as this moves to the east. The storm should weaken in nature over the next hour or two. It really should not intensify much further. So honestly, I think this will be more of a wind threat beyond the next little while, at least over the next 30 minutes. I need to message Brandon to make sure he knew. Tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday came early. Oh, he actually added me on Twitter. Alright, we have retweeted the photo of the flying trampoline. Fantastic. Might be the best intercept that we've had all night. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning just to the southeast of Tipton. Near the Elwood and Alexandria area. Main concern being damaging winds up to 60 and quarter-sized hail. Moving eastbound. By the way, if you do have any photos, any videos, any reports, you can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Back to Illinois for the time being. By the way, Connor's on this storm here. Your Pocahontas at the bottom right of your screen. Brandon Kopic and as well as Corey Gherkin, both on the other tornado warning cell that honestly appears more like a wind threat right now with lots of lightning. It has a ton of lightning. This is what Brandon Kopic's looking at right now. Look at that lightning. This is what I was talking about. It is a complete lightning show on this storm south of Vandalia. I mean, it's non-stop. That is unbelievable. Again, you can see Brandon Kopic on Radar Omega with the top link in the description below, or on YouTube. That is quite literally an unbelievable lightning show. And that's all from one storm, by the way. Or a few storms that have kind of merged together, but like, it's pretty unbelievable. That is literally insane, as I would say. Man, that's just unbelievable.
Just had a PDF.
Crazy amount of lightning. It's this camera, imagine. Be a crazy camera. Alright, confirmed tornado warning, which is, again, not been on the ground for like 25 minutes. It does expire in 2 minutes. Just gonna make sure I take it off and put it on this now, so that I don't have to forget about that. For those that are just tuning in, by the way, that haven't already seen or heard about our upgrade, just letting you guys know, we have a bit of a new upgrade to the system that we use here. So on the right side of your screen, the warning counter, that automatically updates now. I don't have to do anything with it. It used to be manual for the longest time. This stream is the first stream that we've had that it's actually automatic. At the bottom left of your screen, whenever there is a new warning or an upgrade to a warning, you'll also see that at the bottom left. You may have already seen that with tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings or whatever it might be, but that's another upgrade that we have now. And also, whenever there's a tornado warning issued, the audio will automatically play as well. So again, it's basically everything is now automatic. The only thing that's not automatic is the RGB lights, which should hopefully be automatic soon. But for the time being, that is still manual. So, and bottom of your screen where it says live weather coverage, that'll soon be a warning area. So basically, when there is a tornado warning or whatever, it'll show the counties and it'll kind of just flip between warnings every like 5 to 10 seconds. Similar to what we had like 2 months ago, we just, that warning system broke. So we basically coded up an entire new one. So yeah, pretty awesome. Possible wall cloud, according to weather spotters, in South Butler County, Ohio. I'm guessing it's the storm here near Hamilton. Kind of doubt it's the one near Dayton. We'll check it real quick. Yeah, this would be the storm. If there's anything, it would be this one near Oxford and Hamilton. Corey is getting pelted. Oh, yeah, Corey is in an RFD surge right now. Go full cam to Corey Gherkin. That is what he's looking at right now. That's on the southern Illinois storm near Marion County. Big surge of wind, very heavy rain, low visibility, and everything. Alright. Turn on my other fan. Air is not circulating in here. Go to Connor Croft real quick. Connor's on the other tornado warning cell. This is his live shot. Got a lot of lightning. See if we can see anything here.
Guess I'll just drop south at Highland and decide.
I'm not sure what happened, but like the middle of the screen broke.
Head down south towards Trenton. Keep both
I'm not sure if you already
options
knew
in
this,
play.
but top of your screen, there's time and like locations in the middle top. Just letting you know.
Alright.
I'm not sure if you already knew this, but top of your screen, there's time and like locations in the middle top. Went right through.
Middle top.
He knows? Okay. Good to know.
Bro, it came back and now it's in the middle top?
Oh, no, he did not know.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads up. I literally have no idea how it got there.
Thanks for the heads up. I literally have no idea how it got there.
He did not know. Oh, man. It's the tornado warning cell right now crossing into Ohio. Still broad circulation, approaching Hamilton and Fairfield. The tornado warning that was confirmed, that is no longer confirmed. So we are back to radar indicated. Or actually, we're not even back to that. There's no warning up there anymore. We just change this real quick. Nah. Still have 2 tornado warnings in southern Illinois, east of St. Louis. The one that Connor's on has just been canceled. Let me go back to base velocities, and let's go to tilt 3 and 2. I have a little bit of circulation developing up here near Worden and Hamel. This is not warned right now, but this is east of St. Louis. There's a little hook on that. We might have a tornado trying to develop here near Hamel. I'm going to see what the velocities show, because that definitely looks like it might be trying to do something. It's a little bit contaminated, but... see what the velocities and all that show here. 918, 916. I'll wait for the velocities to update. While we wait for a new radar scan, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Like the stream. It is free to do. We are on Twitter and Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. And again, if you have any photos, videos, if you want to relay any reports to us, you can add us on Twitter or on Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. And also, we're on Discord. Make sure to join our Discord server. The link is down below. It still looks contaminated. This is 9:12. That's 7 minutes ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a tornado warning on this storm, though. It's going to be moving towards Interstate 70. We're going to keep a close eye on that. Storm near Salem and Kinmundy. That one looks mostly like wind. I think that tornado warning will probably also get... it'll probably end up getting canceled. Or just let to expire. Tornado warning does continue here in Ohio. Again, rotation is quickly approaching Hamilton. If you are on the west side of Hamilton or west of Fairfield, make sure that you're in your safe place. This is still capable of producing a tornado just south of Oxford. Thank you, Jose, for the $9.99. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Crispy, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you also, Daniel, for the $4.99, saying, thanks for getting me into meteorology. Gonna go study it in college. That's awesome. Glad you get some inspiration from me. Thank you, Jones, for the $5 super chat. This storm in particular, not really heading in the direction of Dayton. The one that's going towards Dayton is mostly just gusty winds. The one behind it is also mostly just gusty winds. So, yeah, not super concerned about that activity. Thank you, Nolan, also for the $4.99. Thank you, Justin, for the $5 super chat. Pocahontas, mostly a wind threat. That you make my day for the becoming a member. And they just canceled that severe thunderstorm warning on the one south of Richmond. Here's the latest scan. Still a little bit of broad circulation right now, moving eastbound. Going towards Hamilton. We'll continue to watch this closely. There is not currently a tornado on the ground, no. It's all radar indicated for the time being. Have I talked about Michigan? There's nothing to talk about in Michigan. It's just ordinary storms, just gusty winds, and that's about it. Nothing out of the ordinary up there. Thank you, Austin, for the $4.99. Evansville will be mostly a wind threat. Again, this will all kind of just upscale into a mesoscale convective system, mostly a wind threat, moving down to the southeast. Isolated tornado threat, but definitely predominantly a wind threat. The tornado threat for tonight from the Storm Prediction Center is predominantly just this 5% tornado risk, which does go into Louisville and technically on the cusp of Evansville, but really this is the activity that has the greatest threat of that. And then the other activity back over in southwest Ohio. Those are the two areas with the greatest potential of there being some sort of threat. A
tornado warning has been issued
for tornadoes. You have a new tornado warning. This storm was warned earlier for a tornado warning. We have a new one, though, for Anderson. So if you're in Anderson, Middletown, Springport, or Sulphur Springs, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. As again, near Anderson right now, moving to the southeast. This one was initially warned as a tornadic supercell a while ago when it was just one, or kind of two storms, but one was the one that was producing a tornado. They merged, and now they're done merging, and so now it's back to being a potential for a tornado near Anderson. And that is currently moving down to the east-southeast. So Middletown, Sulphur Springs, and Springport all on the track of that. Hey, dude for the $9.99. How's it going, Teresa? I'm a legend. Cool. This is Indiana. The storm in Ohio is still broad circulation. It's not super impressive, but we'll keep a close eye on it. Apparently Corey Gherkin just had some small debris go flying by his car. This already sounds like another tornado outbreak. I wouldn't say this is a tornado outbreak. I mean, there are a lot of rotating storms, but like that doesn't always mean it's going to be an outbreak. We've had a lot of storms that have been warned, and only one of them so far has actually has been confirmed as a tornado, and it was this one up here near Anderson. So, yeah. Or it was initially back up near Alexandria, just southwest of there. There's a little CC drop that we had for like 7 minutes. It's radar confirmed. All right, we'll wait for the next radar scan. And nothing confirmed as of right now. All radar indicated rotation for the time being. I'm on a plane by the tornado-warned cell. Lightning is shooting from that storm like crazy. Are you on like a commercial plane right now? You watching me from the skies? Who would have thought somebody would be watching one of my live streams from an airplane? It's pretty wild. It's wild behavior. All right, we are going to, while we wait for another radar scan, I'm going to go to Connor. And I'll be back in 60 seconds. Going to take a quick break. Be right back. Stay tuned.
Feet. South we go. Back out ahead a little bit and see if we can get some structure on this thing. Assuming it doesn't go tornado warned again. Otherwise we'll get right back up on it. Now, 8.7. Be pretty much right behind us, though.
Alright. I don't know what Connor is looking at right now. Looks actually pretty nice, though, right now. A lot of lightning on that storm, too. Back over in western Illinois. Still have rotation near Anderson in Indiana. That's what we're looking at here right now. So still some rotation near Anderson. West of Middletown. Nothing on the ground, though, as of right now. A little tightening, though. Trying to drop on the southeast side of Anderson near State Route 232. So again, continue to stay in your safe place if you're in that warning. Back over near Hamilton. That rotation's broadening out a lot. This one in Ohio will probably be let to expire. I don't think this one's going to continue. The rotation's broadened out a lot. Pretty weak rotation moving eastbound. So if you're in Hamilton or Fairfield, stay alert, but it's mostly just lightning, wind. I think the storm will fall apart before it actually gets to those areas, at least when it comes to a tornado risk. This is a live shot on Radar Omega back over near Hamilton. Again, a lot of lightning with this storm. These storms overall across both Ohio, Indiana, and as well as Illinois are very electrified. Lots of lightning. So, just be vigilant of that. If you see a lot of flashes outside, it might not be a police car. It might just be the lightning that's striking left and right out here in Ohio, Indiana, and as well as Illinois. Still got a hook back over here near Hamel in Illinois. They have canceled the tornado warning for Marion County, Illinois. Check out base velocities. Doesn't really look like it's rotating much, but we still have a little hook on this thing. Very northern side of the storm near the Alhambra area, approaching Grant Fork and eventually Interstate 70. So still something to watch for as that moves to the south-southeast. Your tornado counter doesn't update properly. It says 3. Yeah, if they get canceled, they don't always update. So unfortunately, it's just something that we're going to have to deal with. I'm not sure if it's something that we can actually fix. I will have to ask. I don't know if Austin, are you still here? If you are, I'm not sure if that's something that's able to be fixed. It has more to do with the National Weather Service API, which is a whole technical thing. Is Tennessee going to be bad? Mostly just a wind threat down there. Latest radar scan just east of Anderson in Indiana. Still a little couplet there. Be on track for Sulphur Springs, Springport, and Middleton. So if you are in this area, just make sure that you're continuing to stay in your safe place. Still capable of producing a tornado as it does move to the southeast. Thank you, Cheyenne, for the $5 super chat. Opinions on the Terre Haute storms? Direction? Probably mostly just east. Yeah, mostly east and southeast. Really already moving away from Terre Haute. I'm not super concerned about this activity. It'll probably upscale, though, more into a wind threat down the road as like a mesoscale convective system. And again, I'm kind of expecting all of this to kind of just cluster into a line in like an hour or two, and it'll be mostly just wind and a lot less of a tornado risk. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. They have gone ahead and let the tornado warning in Ohio expire, so we are back down to 1 tornado warning, and that is the one south of Muncie. So again, this is a wide view here of the region in the Ohio Valley. Southern Illinois, upscaling into a mesoscale convective system, which again means a line of thunderstorms. Southwest Indiana, just kind of a few storms going right now, nothing really organized. This should mostly organize into a line as well. Should upscale into more of a damaging wind threat approaching Louisville, probably in a couple hours or so. And then back over here in eastern Indiana and western Ohio, a short-term tornado risk will continue. Again, no watch here right now, but again, majority of this action really should stay in the severe thunderstorm watch. Back over here in Ohio, these storms are already starting to weaken, so nothing really looks imminent. We still have some broad circulation west of Hamilton. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, for there to be a new tornado warning. So that's what I'm thinking right now. We're going to be watching this one near Anderson pretty closely in Indiana. This is the only one that is currently tornado warned at this time. I got you, Austin. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Do not know. I think one of them, I thought from earlier there was one that got canceled and it actually did like drop. Hey, Michael, for the $4.99. Yeah, if you didn't already hear, on April 26th of 2024, many of you might remember, we had the Elkhorn, Nebraska tornado. That was a tornado that was on the ground for a while. It was a tornado emergency. We covered it here on the channel. That tornado has been upgraded to an EF-4 with maximum sustained winds around 165 to 170 miles per hour. So yeah, crazy stuff. I might talk about that later in the stream too, a little bit more in detail. Thank you, Lydia, also for the super chat. Thank you, Jennifer, for 3 months. Did not expect that. I kind of expected it. That tornado that was on the ground there in Nebraska. If you watch that stream back from a couple months back or 3 months back, that storm, I remember covering it like literally. If it was literally that day, I like remember it picture perfect. Like that rotation was so strong. It was one of the strongest velocity couplets that I have ever covered. Like it reminded me of something that was violent, like a violent tornado. And it did, it literally leveled homes, so. Yeah. Pretty unbelievable. Apparently, Corey Gherkin is saying that there may have been a tornado near Salem. He had flying debris go by his car. There is a damage report in Salem, Illinois, of multiple reports of there being trees on homes and power lines down. So we actually may have had a tornado in Illinois near Salem. Which, again, it would have been very rain-wrapped. We didn't see anything visually on radar that could confirm it, but, yeah. I'm not really too surprised by that. At least from what we've been seeing report-wise. Shout out to Bree Bryant for watching our stream. Nice little lighting. Got the dog watching. Dog named Russell watching our live stream right now on their TV. Apparently about 25% of our viewers watch on TV, which is pretty interesting. I think that's the number. That used to be the number, at least. Power's out in most of Salem. Yeah, it sounds like there may have been a tornado, maybe a microburst, something like that. Brandon Kopic's going that direction, so we'll see if he has any sort of reports on damage. Do have a new mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center, Southeast Illinois, Southwest Indiana. Storm's likely to continue to evolve into an organizing cluster with increasing risk for potentially damaging wind gusts through about 11 o'clock to midnight Central Time. So that is the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Thank you, Keith, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Hey, Austin, do you know if you can manually, like, code the warnings up to my Stream Deck or to my light? Do you know if you can do that? I don't know if that's possible. Just curious. Something I kind of forgot about. Hamilton, Ohio. Mostly just lightning. Pretty ordinary storm, gusty winds. It was rotating earlier, but the rotation's been dying out quite a bit. This is really our only storm that has any signs of producing a tornado in the short term. Which even then, it's still pretty broad circulation. I got you, Austin. If you think of anything, let me know. It's gonna be pretty much all manual for now. This is the latest scan here. Still a little tightening there near Interstate 69. Again, approaching Middletown and Crossroads, moving east-southeast. Storms in southwest Ohio, I mentioned it before, but they are pretty much just wind. Still have a little bit of rotation. It's just, again, not much. It's pretty broad circulation right now. Moving east. Gonna be going right into Hamilton, Ohio. Does not look like an imminent tornado threat, but we're gonna continue to watch it closely. I am retweeting a photo on Twitter of a pretty crazy lightning strike out of Hamilton, Ohio. You can see that on Max Velocity WX. JD, by the way, that's an awesome setup. Got Ryan Schull up there too. Alright. It's just gonna stay zoomed out until we have another radar scan. Do have a severe thunderstorm warning also east of Terre Haute. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible. Stay zoomed out for the time being. By the way, another upgrade to the weather studio. Not really an upgrade to the weather studio per se, but just an upgrade in general. You guys might remember, but I have this very old iPhone, right? This iPhone right here. It's like an iPhone 6 or an iPhone SE, I can't remember. One of the two. Thing was dying like crazy. We've had it for several years now. We have upgraded. We have officially upgraded to an iPhone 15. I know. calm down. I've never upgraded a phone in my life. This is the first time I've ever upgraded my phone. So, pretty crazy stuff. It will help, though, actually, for the Weather Studio. Whenever we have, I mean, we have 4 monitors already. We have we basically have 6 monitors, but when I'm trying to look at things on the fly with another radar, I can just pull up the Radar Omega app on my phone, too. So, actually, it's pretty helpful. The refresh rate is much faster. And when we go storm chasing in the future, which I think we'll do some storm chasing in the future to some extent, maybe on some like lower risk days, it'll have much better video quality. So there's actually purpose to me having now a better iPhone. There wasn't really before, but there is actually a purpose now. So especially if I do storm chasing. If you guys looked at my Twitter, I did like a little storm chase in Florida the other day, and got like a nice little shelf cloud. Got a few good photos. So yeah. Thank you, Jess, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Keith, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Thank you, Mark, for the $2 super chat. It's a pretty big upgrade, though, I gotta say. It's not a small upgrade. I did not get the Max, though. I only got, like, I think it's the Pro. So, I did not go crazy on the phone size. I could care less about it being a half an inch larger. Connor Croft said he has a view of a wall cloud. Let's see if we can see anything. This is the storm back over near Pocahontas, bottom right of your screen, just east of St. Louis in Illinois. How did I not get the Max? I don't know. I didn't want it to be that large.
Solid looking Supercell on this still.
Should have given the Max for free. Absolutely. I should have got it for free. I think it was only like $100 more or something like that, but like, I don't need it to be larger. The only difference was the phone size, and honestly, this phone as is like an inch and a half larger than my last one. So, comparing sizes, it's definitely larger. That's for sure. All right. Has the tornado threat gone down? It's decreasing. It's going to gradually decrease over the next couple hours. Waiting for a lightning strike. Connor has had at least a view of a wall cloud. Let me see if we can actually see that here. The sound of him sucking on that straw is right up there with listening to someone chew with their mouth open. Wow.
A little closer to this thing now.
That's not very nice. It's an iconic part of the channel.
I mean, it's definitely
it's a really dumb part of the channel, but it is something.
Wall cloud. It might be more outflow dominant though.
We have a new damage report just north of where Brandon is. This is north of Salem in the Patoka, Illinois area. There is some minor tree limb damage that has been reported. That's the latest over there. Hey, Jason for the $5 super chat. Max Velocity and Ryan Hall collab when? I actually messaged him. I want to see if he golfs. If he golfs, we should do a full-blown golf match. That'd be lit. I don't know if he does though. Does anybody know if he golfs? Thank you, Keith, for the super chat. Funnel in Madison County, Indiana. Are we talking about this storm? I wouldn't be surprised if we have something on the ground. It'd be probably more rain wrap now. No debris signature, but maybe some sort of small tornado maybe getting close to the ground, or a tornado that's actually like in progress, or a funnel that's pretty close to the ground. Cell merger heading towards Bloomington, Illinois, or Indiana, I mean. Got a couple of storms merging. I mean, even if these do merge, it's going to be more of an upscale into a wind threat. So again, it should be more of a line of thunderstorms down the road. It's not going to be really as much of a tornado threat, even if there is a merger there. Thank you, that one guy, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. If we get 18 more members, we'll do a gritty. We're at 32. If we get to 50, we'll do a gritty in today's stream, which will be near the end. As a reminder as well, we'll do a fan mail opening near the end of the stream. We haven't done one of those in a while. I have a ton of packages that I've gotten over the last 3 weeks that I've just not opened, so do that later in the stream. As we continue to cover this not really high tornado risk by any means. Again, it's on the lower side. But we are still watching for a low tornado risk for the next hour or two, and it should be predominantly a wind threat after 11 o'clock. So, still got a tornado threat here for a little bit longer. Hey, Dream, don't worry about it, man. Just don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. I did hear about the tornado in Tennessee. Can somebody add me in one of those videos on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX? I'm gonna retweet the video. I don't think I did. Because there was a tornado earlier today. It was around like 3 o'clock, I think, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Wasn't it really? I don't think it was on the ground for very long, but. Mike says it is very moist in Ohio. My thoughts. It's very moist. That's my thought. Thank you, Liz, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. I don't think Ohio is gonna be that bad. I mean, again, we've had a lot of pre-storm convection back over here in Ohio, kind of stabilizing the atmosphere. The main concern is this activity, and even then, it's mostly just gusty winds. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. There was rotation near Hamilton. I think there still might be a little bit still. Still got a little bit of broad circulation, but again, I just don't think it's that concerning as a potential tornado threat. Oh, is Brandon out there helping people? He's driving through town right now. I'll let you know if Brandon Kopic sees anything. He's driving through the town in Salem. Back over in parts of central southern Illinois. So if he sees anything, I'll let you know. Thank you, Fire, for the $4.99. I don't know where that is. I don't think you spelt it right. I don't even... I don't know. Thank you, Jacob, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. How do you become a member? It's the join button down below. Let's go back to Indiana, see if there's anything here. Still not seeing anything on the ground. Rotation's broadening again. The tornado warning does expire in a minute. So if they don't issue another warning, we'll be back to no tornado warnings. We'll know in about 35 seconds, probably. Thank you, Guy, for becoming a 7-month member. Appreciate that. Great golf. I enjoyed it. Yeah, the golf stream was pretty lit. It's just, it took a ton to set that golf stream up. Like, you guys don't even understand. Like, it was a very expensive, one, to set that golf stream up. And two, the amount of stress and, like, everything before it was just insane. It's like, I wanted to be, like, I wanted to be at least good to some extent. So, it was a heck of a process to set that all up. We obviously aren't golf YouTubers, but, like, setting that up was a pain. Thank you, Austin, for becoming a member. And welcome to the Velocities. Alright, tornado warning has now officially expired.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Dude, there's no shot. That timing is so stupid. New tornado warning for Henry and Delaware counties in Indiana. Pretty sure it's this storm. That timing is horrible. Why? New tornado warning. Middletown, Springport, Sulphur Springs, just west of Bluntsville, south of Coan. If you're in the warning, seek shelter. Away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Why? Like, our timing's usually, like, perfect. And, like, the other way. Like, we usually call tornado warnings early. This time, it's the other way around. Oh, man. Hey, Andrew, becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Storm's moving east at 25 miles per hour. Hey, Brian, for the super chat. Dayton, Ohio. Again, mostly just gusty winds at this point. Very low risk of any severe weather in southwest Ohio. I wouldn't be too concerned. Just have ways to receive alerts, and you should be fine. Should be an A-OK night, in my opinion, over there. By the way, how do you guys like the new alerts at the bottom left popping up? Curious on opinions. Is it too large, too small? Should it go in a different part of the screen? I was thinking maybe top right, but right now it's bottom left. I don't even know why they issued a new tornado warning on this, to be honest. I don't even see rotation. Unless I'm going crazy. I don't see anything. I mean, unless we got maybe back near Middletown some rotation, like, this does not look impressive at all. Maybe add a black border? I don't know. I kind of like the colors as they are. Yellow box, it's kind of small, can't read. That's an example right there. Looks good to me. I can read it. And I'm looking at a tiny monitor. Or not like a tiny monitor, but a tiny little thing. Somebody explain cold tunnels to me? What's a cold tunnel? I'm guessing you mean cold funnel? Not tunnel. I don't know. Thank you, Spartan, for the $4.99. I'm glad the sirens can help you while you're playing your video game. Thanks for tuning in. You know, that derecho that happened in the Midwest on July 16th or 15th, I think it was the 15th. I think that was the release of the, like, the college football game. How many kids were probably playing that when all those tornado warnings were happening? Probably a very high number. Thank you, Alyssa, for becoming a member. Yeah, we do have a tornado warning here in Indiana. I'm not really talking much about it because it's just, I'm not seeing anything imminent, but we'll keep a close eye on it. All the other storms right now, predominantly just a wind threat and hail threat. Again, the main concern from here on out will be wind, with still an isolated tornado or two being possible. The storms in Illinois, mostly just wind as well. Again, we got several storms out there. These are going to upscale into more of a line of thunderstorms with more of a damaging wind threat as we go later into the evening hours and eventually into the overnight hours. Let's go through the future radar real quick, just kind of give you an idea of what's happening for the next few hours. So this is what we're looking at around 10 o'clock tonight. So like right about now, which this isn't exact, but it's kind of close to what we're looking at. By midnight to 1 in the morning, these storms will continue to move down to the south. We'll probably at least have one mesoscale convective system, which means a line of thunderstorms. We might have another one develop over here in Ohio and Indiana. But nonetheless, at least a scattered to maybe even numerous damaging wind threat from southern Illinois back into southwest Ohio. By 4 to 5 in the morning, these storms will continue to move across Kentucky and Ohio, and eventually going into West Virginia and Tennessee by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow during the morning as well, we'll have another more than likely line of thunderstorms in Iowa. This will be mostly a wind threat, and then once we go later into the morning and into the afternoon, there should be a pretty large line of thunderstorms, but it should be mostly just isolated to scatter damaging winds, even through the afternoon hours. I would not be shocked if we see a couple of tornadoes along its path, but it does not look substantial right now. It does not look like a derecho or something like that, but there will be some scattered damaging winds, at least across parts of central and western Illinois and southern Illinois and back through eastern Missouri. And then eventually by the evening hours, this will be moving throughout parts of Kentucky, southeast Missouri, and southern Indiana, and then it falls apart after that. And then once we go into Wednesday, we don't really know what's going to happen quite yet, but we're probably going to see another round of a few mesoscale convective systems developing back over in the central plains. These might develop further east, and if they do, we could be talking about a more significant wind threat eventually going into parts of the Midwest. Don't really know if that's going to happen yet, but that is something that we'll be watching for down the road. Again, Wednesday's just, it's too early to tell what's exactly going to happen. Right now, the plan is that we might be live tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on what happens. Again, it's going to be another last second call like today. Wednesday is another day where it's going to be probably last second, and I probably will not be in the weather studio for Wednesday, but we'll have the ability to go live if needed Wednesday. But right now, Wednesday does not appear super likely unless something does change. So I'd say tomorrow is like a 40% chance, maybe a 50% chance. And then Wednesday is probably like a 25-30% chance right now of going live. Today, for the record, was like a 40% chance of going live. So, but tomorrow looks mostly like a wind threat. And if that's true, then we might not be live tomorrow. So we'll just see what happens. We're still live tonight, by the way. Just letting you know the plan. We'll be live here probably for at least the next 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what happens. Brandon found damage. Sure did. This is Brandon Kopic. He's on Radar Omega and also on YouTube. Some tree branches down.
No, there's part of the road to my east that was.
It's back over in Salem, Illinois, where there was possibly a tornado there not too long ago. Thank you, Brad, for the super chat. No, is it riding an outflow? It might be riding an outflow. I don't see it clearly on radar, but I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, let me look. It's very possible, though. I don't see the outflow on radar or the frontal boundary. But if it is riding along that, that's probably why I had a tornado risk. I just don't see it imminent anymore. On this storm. Is that a circle bottle? It is. It's not too shabby. Apparently, starting on August 1st, I'm going to be going on a no Diet Coke diet. Meaning that I'm not going to have any Diet Coke starting August 1st. I don't know if that's going to follow through, but we'll see. It's a possibility. Thank you, Nick, for the $10 super chat. I don't really storm chase. I mean, again, I got an iPhone. That's it. If I do a storm chase, it's gonna be with an iPhone. Probably. I wouldn't get like dash cams and stuff. I know Connor, he has like GoPros on his car. I actually saw his car when he came down to Florida. He has like dash cam, or not dash cams. He has GoPros on like the side of his car. He has an actual camera too, like an actual like physical camera, like the ones that you'd buy like 25 years ago before phones. And he also has his phone, which is he has multiple camera views, but those are like the ways he gets them. So I don't really have any recommendations though, because I'm not a storm chaser, but it's possible that I do storm chase in the future. Just again, I wouldn't be doing it, full time like these other people do. It'd just be like a once or twice a year sort of thing. Do I like donuts? I do. Brandon is cutting up a tree. Put some W's in the chat for Brandon. He's always out there doing search and rescue, doing good things out there. This is Brandon, or this is Connor Croft, by the way. Lightning show here in Illinois.
Also just picks it up pretty well on this camera.
I accidentally ordered too many of those flavor pods and it took me forever to get through them. I get through about one every like day and a half. I go through them so fast. So I usually buy them in bulk. But we do have a fan mail, which will be opening probably after this warning. And that actually has some circle, so I might not have to buy any more for a little while. The packaging is literally circle. When do you think hurricane season will kick into hyperdrive mode? Probably in mid to late August. I mean, right now we got a tropical wave that's back over, really, like here. It's going to eventually go towards Florida. We might see some sort of development here, but again, there's a lot of hype around this. People are posting Category 10 hurricanes coming to Texas, or not Texas, Florida. So, I mean, there might be some Category 10 hurricane trying to go towards Texas too, but a lot of hype around it. There's a ridiculous amount of hype. Like, I'm seeing thumbnails on YouTube that are just ridiculous, like showing Cat 5 hurricanes going towards the, United States or whatever. So, can't really do much about it, but just letting you know, it's a very overhyped system right now. There isn't really, I mean, there's a few models that bring it to like a stronger sided hurricane, but it's only a few of many models. I mean, like the GFS, for example, shows basically nothing, just some rain for Florida, maybe some sort of development near Louisiana. The European model, the most recent run, shows this going towards like the Carolinas. So I'll just show you that real quick. This is what the European model shows. You can kind of see it comes up the coast of Florida. Bottom right of your screen, it's a little bit hard to see. Let me just put this more into view right here. So this is what we're looking at here on the European model. Again, this is a very like low-end tropical storm or tropical depression. That's not even a hurricane. So that's a pretty weak system, and then it kind of sits over South Carolina and North Carolina. If this happens on Wednesday, we could actually see an interesting flooding and tornado setup back over in the Carolinas. But again, it's too uncertain to know if that's actually going to happen. The Canadian model, which is not a model I use, shows it also going up the coast and actually goes out to sea pretty quickly, and there's not really much of a flooding threat with that one. And then the Icon model, which is a model that I barely use, has this going in the same area. So it's more likely than not we're going to get some development out of it. It'll probably become a tropical depression, maybe even a tropical storm. I think it's going to become something. I just don't think it's going to become anything beyond that. I mean, it might become a hurricane, but like the chances of it are very low right now. And it would probably be east of Florida, and it would be somewhere up the Carolinas or something like that where it makes any impact. So, thank you, Jaden, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Jordan says our power just went out east of Hamilton, Ohio. Yeah, there's some lightning, gusty winds, and that's about it. I mean, might just gotten unlucky or something, because it's not a severe storm. So, our next warning should be near Guthrie, Indiana. Where's Guthrie? B. Smith is making callouts left and right now. Are you talking about this one? Yeah, this one's been kind of broadly rotating. It's not really... I saw this earlier. I don't know. Doesn't look imminent, but I wouldn't rule it out. It is discrete. If it can stay discrete, we might have some sort of low-end tornado risk somewhere down here in, like, southern Indiana. So... Dayton, Ohio is just going to be rain and lightning. I don't really expect anything severe there. At least for now. Storm itself is kind of drifting down to the south of you anyways. Still got a questionable tornado warning here near Newcastle. Obviously, if you are in a tornado warning, just continue to stay in your safe place, but I'm not seeing anything of interest right now. We're just going to stay zoomed out for the time being. Actually, there was a tornado report at 8:45 in Kaufman, Illinois. Storm chasers reported a rope tornado near the Alhambra area. That was about an hour ago. So this storm here actually did produce, it sounds like, at least a brief tornado. And there is an outflow boundary, which means that we might see some storms near St. Louis in the next couple hours. So if you're in St. Louis, be vigilant. You have an outflow boundary, some storm initiation right here. St. Louis might get a little wind threat out of that, but I would expect the tornado risk to be very low to near zero. By the way, our Venmo is working again. It was not working before. So just letting you know. Have it up and running. If anybody did try to use it, it was broken before. Is there a chance of a tornado in Muncie? Pretty low risk. I'm not expecting much there. And we still have one tornado warning cell south of you, but like in Muncie in particular, it's all behind that storm. So not expecting anything in Muncie other than just rain and lightning. Weird connection issues again? Might just be on your end. How many members for a gritty? We need 12 more members for a gritty. Alright, I'm gonna give this another scan. If the rotation doesn't like uptick or anything, we're gonna start opening some fan mail, because this storm is just so broad right now when it comes to rotation. Huge W. Brandon Kopic. We're gonna go to Brandon Kopic real quick. He's on, again, YouTube and Radar Omega. You can watch him on the Radar Omega app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Huge W. He's getting this tree out of the roadway. Got some kids that were probably playing college football on their PS5s. They're now out there helping clear up the tree damage. This is in Salem, Illinois, I believe. Yeah, Salem, Illinois. Brandon Kopic's always out there. He also rescued a trampoline earlier that went flying, right before tossing trampolines on Tacos Tuesday. So, he texts us to the $4.99. Roses are reds, violets are blue. Storms can be fierce, like my love for you. What? Appreciate the very corny poem. Thank you also to Dixie for the $10 Venmo. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. You know, whenever I get some Riz and I get some sort of like, whenever I meet a girl, that's the poem that I'm saying. Like that's the way we're going. I have learned that Connor has infinitely higher Riz than me. I have yet to have a girlfriend, so, and he has had at least one. They have updated this tornado warning, still radar indicated for Henry County, Indiana. Moving east-southeast at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Thank you, Sadie, for the $2.99. Thank you, Cheyenne, for the gifted member. Will you be doing any weather analyzing in Australia? No, we don't. We really only cover the United States. And sometimes Canada. And also sometimes, like, the Lesser and Greater Antilles. I should Zello Connor with that poem. That'd be wild. It'd be hilarious. I'm not going to, though. That'd be so funny. I'm at least gonna send him, though, that message, because that was hilarious. A hilarious poem. Alright, I'm just gonna stay zoomed out again. Nothing's really popping right now. Oh, actually, we're gonna do probably fan mail here in a second. Yeah, still broad circulation near Sulphur Springs. We're gonna keep a close eye on it. I'm just gonna stay zoomed out. Let's quickly open at least one fan mail package while we wait for another radar scan. And we have four packages. The first one is from Earl out of Michigan. Earl in the past has literally sent us a ton of mail, like tons of different things. Some of those include like hailstone size things, like softballs, so pretty cool. We'll use them occasionally. Don't really have any large hail, but we do have like a golf ball, like he sent. A ton of stuff he sent. So he sent this. I already opened. I haven't looked at what it is, but I had to open up the tube because the tube itself, it was like in a tube, and I had to like get a knife to cut it open. It took me like 20 minutes to open this, but this is what the package came in. It was in this tube. Okay. So we got. This is what it looks like. I have yet to open this, so I have no clue what it actually is. But it looks like it is some sort of portrait of a storm. So like a photo. Pretty cool. Appreciate that, Earl, for sending that in. Might have to hang it up somewhere. It's actually a really cool photo. I'll probably post it on Twitter of the full photo. Shout out to Earl with the painting, or I don't know what this exactly is, but appreciate that. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Thank you, Earl. Appreciate that. I don't know if Earl's here, but how is the McDonald's? It's McDonald's. It's mid. It's not usually that good. It is a really cool picture. All right, because this storm's still not really rotating a whole lot. Our next fan mail is from CFS. This is in Minnesota. I'm not sure if that's the actual name. This is what it came in. Little, envelope. It's like a Culver's. It's like a Culver's envelope. I don't know if this is from like their headquarters or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Or if this is just somehow somebody got an envelope of Culver's. Better get some Culver's tomorrow. I don't think I'm getting Culver's tomorrow. This is from Lydia. This is so this is what it looks like here. Pretty nifty. It says, thank you for your awesome and informative live streams. You are great. Have some cheese curds on me, although I try and not to start some tornado outbreak or major hurricane in the process. Never stop grittying. Absolutely. I think at this point you know who I am. I do. I know Lydia. I've seen you a lot in the chat. And it came with a $20 Culver's gift card. Big W for Lydia. I'm definitely using that. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the generous fan mail. And obviously, as a reminder, by the way, if you ever want to send fan mail, you can send it with the link in the description. It's like 5 links down. There's now like a thing that you can just click on and it's there. I do want to let you know, you don't have to send me, anything of value, like or like as in like, cash or anything like that. Like that's not required by any means. It's just fun stuff. If you ever want me to open up like a letter or whatever it might be, feel free to mail it to me. It doesn't have to be something with a gift card. So, but I do appreciate the generosity, obviously, because I will be using this. There's no doubt. I already used my $25 Culver's gift card. Whoever sent that one, I can't remember the name. That was back like last month, I think. All right, we'll wait to open up the next two in like a minute. Just gonna go back through radar and make sure we're not missing anything. And most of the storms right now, just wind producers. Low tornado risk with everything right now. Storms in southwest Illinois, mostly just a damaging wind threat, outflow boundary. Some storms trying to initiate north of St. Louis. Again, those might try to produce some damaging wind threat as they move south. So just keep that in mind. You're back over in the St. Louis area. And then back over near Mount Vernon and Fairfield. We still do have a cluster of storms here as well. That is predominantly just a wind threat. That is, again, currently moving down to the southeast. It is on track for those in Carmi, Carrier Mills, and Evansville might be in the track of that activity soon, depending on if this can continue to upscale into more storm activity to your north. Because, again, a lot of this is driving to the south and east. We do have a few storms that have also formed back over near the Fernand area and Jasper. This is an environment where we could get another isolated tornado because they are, again, semi-discrete storms. So that'll be something to watch for west of Louisville. And then back over south of Indianapolis, we have several storms still in this area that are predominantly just wind and some lightning, and that's really about it. And then back over in Ohio, just isolated storms. Again, just lightning, gusty winds, some heavy rainfall. And then back over near Newcastle, this is our only tornado warning. Broad circulation right now near Springport and Sulphur Springs. Does not appear imminent, but we will continue to watch it if it does try to do anything funky. Thank you, Sadie, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Thank you, Liz, for becoming a member. Also, thank you to Alyssa for becoming a member. And thank you, Ryan, for the $9.99. Appreciate the generosity. What state do you think is the most prone to tornadoes? Well, it depends on what you mean by that. Because, like, if you mean, like, where the most frequent activity usually happens, or if you're just talking about, like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird question, because it's not, like, I don't know if you can, like, rephrase that. Like, what do you mean by that? Because there's multiple ways that I could answer that question. Congrats on 350,000 subscribers. Appreciate it. I guess we apparently hit that today. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's the red button down below. It's free to do. We do severe weather coverage all the time across the United States. And we are now on the road for 400,000 subscribers, apparently. Somebody asked if they could send German euros. I don't even know what that. I guess. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them. Sounds good, Emily. Sounds good. Appreciate that, Kelly. Instead of the gritty, can you do the Charleston next time? I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that means. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and open up our next fan mail, because nothing new is happening right now on radar. It's still broad circulation. Our next one comes from Marissa. I don't know if Marissa's still in the chat. Hopefully you are. You are. Okay. Marissa is in the chat. The next fan mail is literally circle. It's literally a box of sips. So we got blackberry, we got blueberry, which are my, like, top, I would say in the top 5 flavors at least. You got Island Punch. You got another blackberry circle sip. This is like a variety of flavors here. Got another blueberry. Blueberry is my favorite. Got a dragon fruit flavor. I didn't even know that existed. Got dragon fruit flavor. And then we got a lemonade one. Some sort of lemonade. I don't know what this is. Why is 2024 a big year of severe weather? It's basically a transition year between El Nino and La Nina. And as we go into the winter, we're probably going to have La Nina. So, actually, the South will probably deal with more snow than usual. At least Texas will. Alright, I need to put these in here because I'm losing space. Alright, real quick update on the tornado warning. Again, still some broad circulation near Sulphur Springs. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a whole lot. It's just broad circulation. Continue to stay in your safe place in Indiana. Just, again, not really too crazy. Alright, we have 5 more flavors here. We got... I don't know what these are, but, like, we got some, like, interesting flavors. I don't know what that means. But I guess we're gonna find out. We got a Flight Electrolyte Fuel flavor. And then the last 2 being wild cherry, which I've also never had, and another blue raspberry. Put some W's in the chat for Marissa, the very kind fan mail. And I will definitely be using those. So I do appreciate it. The UAV for the 199. I'll talk more about the severe weather threat in Illinois on Wednesday in tomorrow's video. And maybe later in the stream, we'll see. So we actually have a rotation developing over here near Denmark and Clay City right now. So that might be something to watch for. That rotation, honestly, is stronger, in my opinion, than the one back over northeast of Indianapolis. Alright, last one for now is from C. Ford. This is from Canada. It is an envelope. I can't really show it because it has literally address information all over it. So it's an envelope, just trust me. It's like a small one. Like there's an address on the front and back. So, kind of unfortunate. Connor said you're giving up Diet Coke. We're going to be trying to. We're going to be trying. Connor actually told me to literally, he's like, you need to stop drinking Diet Coke, like when we were at Disney. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try starting August 1st. He didn't really mean it, by the way, but I might be trying to. We'll see. Just gotta stay zoomed out for the time being. I'm trying to open up this envelope without, like, ripping anything. Alright. So again this is from Chelsea, out of Canada. Wow, this is a really interesting card. So this is a card to start with. Unwarned tornado in southern Illinois. Let me double check real quick. I don't want to be missing anything in case there is actually something happening. Saline County or Saline County. Are you talking about this one? I don't see anything. I'm not seeing anything. I'm guessing that was just a false report. I just want to make sure. I'm like looking at radar and stuff, but I haven't seen anything that looks imminent. I don't see anything imminent. It's all wind right now in Illinois. And even then, there's actually no warnings right now in Illinois. I'm guessing that was just a false report. They have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, though, for the storm near Jasper, east of Huntingtonburg and Fernand. Mostly just a wind threat. There is a tornado possible label on that. The storm near Bloomington, also producing predominantly a wind threat. There's a hook on this. Again, it could become tornadic as that moves down to the southeast towards Bloomington. So it will be something to watch for. But not a super big concern. Alright. And let me just check the tornado warning again real quick. Just make sure nothing's developed there. And yeah, so again, if you're near Newcastle, just north of there, continue to stay in your safe place. This warning does go for 15 more minutes. I'm not seeing much, though. Alright, quickly, this is the last opening. Again, we got an envelope, and it has a lot of writing. Alright. I couldn't find any weather-themed cards. Thank you for sharing your storm knowledge, entertaining us with your excellent dancing. I appreciate that. And literally saving lives. We don't usually get tornadoes where I live, but definitely get hurricanes and other severe weather. So I thought it would be nice, or I guess I just wanted to let you know you have friends and followers all over the world. I think we have one EF-1 tornado a few years ago that destroyed a barn, but Nova Scotia does not usually get much of those types of storms. We did get the remnants of Beryl, which caused severe flooding, but thankfully we were prepared. That's good. Below is a fridge magnet. So this is the first thing. We got a fridge magnet. Zoom in a little bit. Of a famous ship. So this is apparently a famous ship, a historic ship that brought settlers from Scotland I've also sent you a few coins since you mentioned you have no idea what a toonie is. I do not know what that is. Apparently it's a coin. And then in case you do consider covering Canadian storms and a few other things at the end. And then this is what it looks like. I'll show you in a second. Yeah. So we got a loonie right here. That is a loonie. All right. So that's 1 inch, or I think that's 1 inch, or $1 coin. So loony size tail, there you go. And then this right here is a toonie size tail. Why do they have to rhyme? That's a apparently that's $2 right there. So this is the $1 coin, that's the $2 coin. It's pretty cool. I will definitely I'm never gonna spend that because I'm probably never going to Canada, to be honest, but we'll have it in the envelope. I'm just gonna keep it taped and might show it on a stream sometime if we ever do Canada coverage. So appreciate that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little gift. I just want to know who named them. Like, why do they have to rhyme? Bloomington Storm is spinning. It's been some rotation on it. Some rotation. There was a tornado possible label, I think, on it. Unless I'm tripping. All right, let me, all right, by the way, that was all the fan mail. Just wanted to let you know. Again, thank you to anybody that sent fan mail. Also, if you want to send any fan mail in the future for us to open up on a live stream, I will put the link in the chat. It's also in the description down below. So you can check that out. Again, by no means are you required to mail anything. It's just if you want to, send me whatever. It might be a letter. It could be, a gift card if you really want to go above and beyond or something, or it could be a full-blown computer. Like, you could send whatever. So if you want to send anything, you can send it. Link's in the chat. It's also in the description down below if you want to mail anything. But again, by no means is it required. Just a fun thing to do whenever the weather's a little bit quieter. As we go into the quieter time of the year, which technically the weather this week is going to be active, but there is a potential that we'll have a couple weeks that we don't go live for weather because it might be quiet enough for that to happen. Sort of like what just happened. Like the last 2 weeks we haven't been live for weather. In the case that does happen and we do have fan mail, we'll do members only streams opening up fan mail. We'll also have members only streams coming up pretty soon for playing the game Outbreak, which is like a storm chasing game. That'll probably be with Connor, and then we'll also have another stream that will be probably like GeoGuessr or something for members only. So if you want to become a member, it is the join button down below. But all right, back to the weather, which right now, again, we still have this tornado warning north of Newcastle. Broad circulation for 11 more minutes. This is tornado warned. Outside of that, we still have the storm going towards Bloomington. That is predominantly just a wind threat. Have had some broad circulation east of Clay City. So I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado threat as that approaches the north side of Bloomfield and going towards Worthington. And then back over west of Louisville, we do have a storm here that's near St. Anthony. This has undergone some storm mergers already, so the tornado threat for the time being is low, but it might increase over the next hour as that moves towards the Kentucky and as well as Indiana border. And then back over in southern Illinois, it's predominantly just a gusty wind threat. Again, this is going to try to upscale into a mesoscale convective system. So far, it's pretty much just wind. So, and it's not even severe. All right. Also, thank you, Laura, for the 2 months. Do you have an Amazon wish list? I do not. I don't really... I mean, the only things that I was planning on getting was like a standing desk, which I'm probably going to get something that's pretty high quality. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't really had to because we haven't been live much. And then we're going to keep getting more monitors. So we just got another monitor today. So we're going to be up to 7 monitors, and then we'll probably be up to like 10 by the end of the year, or by early next year. And then we might have another computer. Well, actually, another upgrade that we're doing to the Weather Studio. Obviously, a lot of you are members. Most of the membership money just goes directly into upgrading the studio, having storm chasers, all that sort of stuff. And so the next upgrade that we have is that we have a new laptop coming in. So we do have a full-blown new laptop. It's going to basically have the same specs as this computer. It was pretty expensive, but we have a new laptop coming in. What that'll help with is, one, when I'm traveling, we'll be able to do live streams like normal, with normal sort of stuff, being able to have high-quality streams still, because the other laptop is dying. It barely can handle anything. And then, two, that'll also give us another set of eyes, basically, into other stuff like Storm Chaser feeds or weather radar or whatever it might be. And that'll also allow us to have more monitors as well, because we can't just put 20 monitors into one computer, otherwise it'll just break. So, yeah. How do you run that many monitors? We have 4 on this one main rig, and then we have 2 that can plug into the laptop. So basically we can have up to 7 right now. And then when we get the next laptop, we should be able to go up to 10. So that's the plan. I might also buy another computer in full and just, you know, go crazy. How many more members for a gritty? We need 9 more members for a gritty. Thank you, Wyatt, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. How does Tennessee look tonight? It'll be mostly a wind threat, and it's not going to even arrive till, like, it'll be basically arriving around, like, sunrise tomorrow. So, yeah, it's still a ways away. It'll be mostly north and northeast Tennessee for some isolated damaging winds. Just gonna stay zoomed out for the time being. Again, weather's kind of quieting down. We might not be live super long at this point, unless something really goes crazy here in the next little while. Thank you, Cheyenne, for the $5 super chat. Franklin, Indiana. Isn't that like over here somewhere? I'll just look it up. Mostly just ordinary thunderstorms. A lot of storms exploding here, and again, this will all upscale into a mesoscale convective system. At least that's what's forecasted, so mostly just a damaging wind threat as this evolves, but yeah, it's still a little ways away from that. Do you have a regular job? This is technically my job, but I'm also full-time college, so, you know, but I'm not in college, like, right now, since we're still in the summer. Thank you, Mark, for the one gifted member. Appreciate that. Senior year of college, coming right up. And then we'll be officially a meteorologist in approximately 9 months, I think. So, not too far away from it. Getting closer. How many kids do you have? Should ask how many girlfriends I've had in my life. I've had 0. So the answer would be 0. No Riz velocity. Will you have facial hair before you become an adult? Wow. I've actually, I mean, my mustache area, I've literally I barely have any hair recognizable there. Like, I've shaved it once in my life, and that was probably when I was like 18. Beard hair goes a little bit crazier. It's not really even a beard hair, so, like, you know, it's not really that crazy. It's pretty, like, you know, it's very minimal. Like, the last time I shaved was right before Connor came to Florida, so probably about a week and a half ago. So it's been a while. Hey, Street, for the $5 super chat. It's okay, me too. I'm glad you're in the same boat. I'm glad. Oh, man. What about Bowling Green? Mostly just an isolated damaging wind threat after midnight. We could auction a date with Max? No. Absolutely not. I still can't believe this is tornado warned. It does expire in 4 minutes. Just gonna stay zoomed out for the time being. Friendly reminder, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It is free to do. Red button down below. Make sure to subscribe, like the stream. Also, don't forget to join our Discord server. If you're on Discord, you can join our Discord server with the link in the description. You can also follow us on Twitter and as well as on Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. And also today's live stream is brought to you by Radar Omega. If you need a weather app to stay ahead of the storms, you can download Radar Omega with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Highly recommend it. It's the weather app that we're currently using. Comes with tons of features like the live radar feed, velocities, correlation coefficient, all that stuff is in the app. And it comes with the base price of $8.99 when you purchase it. In addition to that, you have the storm chaser feeds, you have storm reports, lightning data, tons of other features. In addition to that, you can also get computer models and satellite imagery if you get a subscription on their app. So definitely recommend you checking that stuff out. The satellite imagery, really cool. Obviously, it's nighttime, so we have to use the infrared imagery, which you can see the storms blowing up here across the Ohio Valley on the infrared. This indicates cold cloud tops aloft east of St. Louis. Those are the tallest thunderstorms that we have right now ongoing, in addition to the couple that we have near Bloomington. Otherwise, pretty much low top supercells back over along the Indiana and Ohio border. But again, you can check all this out on the Radar Omega app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Huge shout out to Radar Omega for sponsoring not just today's live stream, but also to our golf live stream. Really do appreciate it. It basically covered all of our expenses, so we do appreciate that a lot. Thank you. The expenses for that golf tournament was literally horrendous. It was way more than I expected. All right. Thank you, Scribbles, for the $9.99. No problem. Appreciate that. Appreciate the generosity. Yeah, one more year. The hardest classes are really going to be this year. So, and then after this year, we'll be done. After college, I am hoping to be able to do more of like legitimately storm chasing to some extent. Like, I wouldn't even rule out, like, this, it might be a crazy idea right now, but I wouldn't even rule this out. Like, I wouldn't rule out myself, like, not, like, moving to the Central Plains, but, like, having, like, a, not, like, maybe, like, a little weather studio there for, like, a month or two, and, like, if there's a day where it's a low risk and I can just go storm chasing with somebody, I might, like, that sort of thing. I wouldn't rule it out next year. We'll see, but it's definitely possible. I know Connor is going to be probably moving to Oklahoma, but that would be probably, like, earlier in the year. I doubt I'm doing that, but I wouldn't rule out something along those lines. They are for the $4.99. Tornado warning has now officially been canceled. So we are back down to no tornado warnings. It says one on the right side, but it is now canceled. So it'll update in a second anyways. Don't chase a high risk on experience. I wouldn't be chasing. I would have somebody else do it. I mean, I would ride along with like Reed Timmer, or I would go with like Connor or something. Like I wouldn't chase by myself. Probably, at least. I mean, I've chased like very small things before, so dude. Reed Timmer. we're talking about a golf match here. He's like, yes, we can. I was like, we need to get a time ASAP for a golf match, and he says, yes, we can stream it. Apparently, we might be streaming another golf match in the future with Reed Timmer. Oh man, I met Reed on a plane. He does fly quite a bit, at least in the spring. Reed will have a crew. He probably will. He might even get the drone out. Might get the full-blown drone out. Rent out the entire course. Become professional golf YouTubers. That'd be crazy. Thank you, Aaron, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. Appreciate that a lot. Smarts in the chat for Aaron. That is our highest tier membership on the channel. We actually only need 5 more members now. So if we get 5 more members, we'll do a gritty at the end of the stream. Crazy stuff. Reed Timmer said rover cam. Man's gonna bring his whole entire Dominator out in the course. just drive around with it. As the golf cart will be the Dominator. So funny. Why don't you like canes? It's so mid. Raising Cane's is just mid. Like, I don't hate it, right? It's just mid. Like, I could easily go for something else. That tweet that I had literally got so much. Got such a response. Trying to find it. Dude, this is like what I had 300 almost 400 likes on this tweet and like 140 comments. Like, dude, there were so many people triggered by this. Like, well, what's the big deal about that opinion? If I say McDonald's is mid, there'll be a ton of people that are like, yeah, they won't even look at the tweet. By the way, I want to throw this out there. 11 years ago, made my first ever green screen forecast. Time flies. 11 years ago. Thank you, Randall, for the 10 gifted members. Put smarts in the chat for Randall. Appreciate that. Connor Croft actually owes me 20 gifted after our golf match because I won. I forgot about that. So he still owes me 20 gifted. I'm gonna quickly give him a little Zello real quick. I don't know if he's still on Zello right now. Yeah, he is. You still owe me 20 gifted for the golf match, just an FYI. I'm on stream right now. Alright. See if he gets back to me or not. I don't know what he's gonna say. Are you lucky for the $4.99? I think it'll be mostly just wind. That's it. I wouldn't be too concerned there. I don't even know if you're really going to get anything over there in Columbus. Where you at, Connor? Connor is no longer live. Multi-Storm Chaser golf tourney? I'm not a Storm Chaser, though. Technically. Be so lit though if we actually do like a stream, me and Reed doing a golf match. That'd be crazy. I gotta work on my drive though. My drive is falling off. It's falling off so hard. How do you become a member? It's the join button down below. There's also a link. I'll put the link in the chat if you're not seeing it. It's the second to top link in the description. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in southern Illinois. Again, mostly just a wind threat and hail threat. Lightning as well. But overall, again, most of the weather's kind of... I mean, this is all going to upscale into more of a line. So there will be still some scattered damaging winds. But the threat in nature is definitely just kind of dying out. Gotcha, Austin. That's fine. I gotcha. I kind of figured it was something like that. You have to play golf more regularly? I do agree. Yeah, we have to golf more. We gotta get back into the groove of golfing. Some good old golfing. Will I be live tomorrow? It's pretty 50-50. I get every day for the next like 3 or 4 days will just be 50-50. W in the chat with Connor Croft with the 20 gifted members. Apparently, I don't think you were tuning in, but do appreciate it. That is for winning the golf match. Let's get some W's in the chat for Connor. And a W stream, W whoever pulled you out. W's all around. We have exactly 69 new members today. Nice.
Congratulations, there's your 20 gifted.
Sounds so thrilled about that. Sounds so thrilled. Connor, you know, funny enough, before we had that golf match, he was like, you know, we should at least do 20 gifted. He was like, at least, like as if we're gonna go like 50 gifted or something like that. You know? I mean, you know, we could have. I would have probably lost if we went any higher, though. I would have been thinking about it more. Thank you, Daryl, for the $5 super chat. That's awesome. I need to get golfing. I want to golf more consistently. Like, that's a goal I'm going to have after college, especially.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't say 50 gifted after that complete meltdown I had.
Dude, like, literally, I think he wanted to do 50 gifted, too. I'm pretty sure Connor wanted to do 50 gifted. I mean, he said it confidently, too. I remember it. Like, he was like, I at least want it to be 20 gifted. Like, it was confident. Imagine doing 50 gifted, 100 gifted. Man, that would have been a more of a meltdown there at the end than what we just saw. But I would have been, honestly, I think I would have lost if we went higher than 20 gifted, because, like, I just would have been thinking about it more. You can gift 50 max? I'm not gifting 50. That's a lot. Alright. I'm gonna go for like 6 more minutes and then we're done. I want to make it a 3.5-hour stream. Hey Connor, do you see that Reed Timmer wants me to, I don't know if you saw the, I doubt you saw the tweet. I don't know if you're still here. But apparently he wants to do a golf match and stream it. He's responding on Twitter. Who knows if that'll actually ever happen, but you never know. Thank you, Buckeyes, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Do you have monthly memberships? I do. I'll put the link in the chat again. It's also the second to top link in the description. What is hitting?
Let's run it. Let's run the joint golf match. We can find a fourth or something too, and just have a 4-way tournament there. I bet he'd be down to do it at some point. But good stream. W Vax Velocity, and see you tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm live tomorrow. I don't know. Tomorrow's kind of 50-50. If it happens earlier in the day, I probably won't be live. There's something like in the evening I'll go live. I really don't like going live midday. It just bugs me. I usually don't get up until 12 anyways, so that's probably why. Imagine, you know, I already kind of said this. I don't think Ryan Hall plays golf, but like it would be crazy if we actually had him too. Like just get a 4-way golf match like that. Does Edgar play golf? I don't know if Edgar does. Edgar O'Neill, I think is his name. Hey Deb for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Top golf stream? It wouldn't be Top Golf. No, we'd be playing like an actual golf course. Might have to get like some sort of tracer thing too. I don't know how we would do that, but that'd be pretty lit. Hey Josh for becoming a member. Threat dying out in Evansville. You haven't really even seen anything yet. Just again, isolated damaging wind threat. Nothing too crazy. Do a golf match for charity. I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, I definitely would be interested. I'd be legitimately interested in doing something like that. Like all the funds or whatever that we make go towards charity or something. That'd be pretty lit. Be a tall task to organize all of that, but definitely something I'd be interested in partaking in, as long as I'm like not in college and I can actually go to it. You guys need to stream the golf match through Radar Omega. That'd be pretty funny. just you know, you pop into the weather app and all of a sudden you see a tornadic supercell 10 miles to the north of where we're golfing. Just see this person golfing on the golf course. Like, that'd be like wild. He's so funny. Mr. Clean's in the chat. This man's named Mr. Clean. Connor, Freddie, Reed, and Max golf match. I highly doubt Freddie's gonna play golf. I don't think Freddie has golfed. Like, I don't think he's ever golfed in his life. I think it would be lit, but he doesn't. I don't think he knows how to golf. Where's the gritty? He'll be at the end in like 2 minutes. Hey, Jamie for the 199. Fine in Bryan, Ohio. Where's Bryan? Yeah, you're fine in Bryan, Ohio. I don't know who's talking about Bryan, Ohio. There's like just gusty winds and a couple rumbles of thunder. Nothing beyond that. See you later, James. Petus. James Petus. I can mini golf. That's about it. I can't mini golf. Dude, I played Connor in a mini golf match. We didn't stream it. Bro, I got smoked. I lost by like 13 strokes. I had 76 strokes, and he had like 63. It was a disaster. Random Reed, Brian Connor. Bro, where am I at? You just leave me out of the golf tournament? Like what? Excuse me? Linda just decided to kick me out of this golf tournament. Like, what's going on here? Are you extra for the 1 month membership? What about Arizona? I'm not covering Arizona. Just mostly, it's typical monsoon season stuff. Thank you, Panther, for the super chat. Favorite food? Probably French fries. Same. Appreciate you tuning in, Adam. Have a good night. I'm the commentary team. I'm golfing. If I'm going to this, I'm golfing. Like, I'm not. I could commentate, but like, bro, I'm golfing. Have Radar Omega sponsor it? I bet they would. Honestly, like they probably would. They sponsored this golf match that we just had, so they would probably sponsor that one. That one, especially if it's, you know, larger creators like Reed Timmer and stuff. That you awaken for the super chat. At this point, anywhere in Indiana, just some isolated damaging winds. Again, low tornado risk, but it's very low. Have I played Outbreak? I have not. Again, I might do an Outbreak stream with Connor. Not sure exactly if or when that'll happen. If I don't do one with him, I'll at least just probably solo it at some point. Thank you, Teed Rimmer, for the 3-month membership. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That'd be pretty lit. You know, next summer or something, or even in the off season, like September or something. Like, you know, doing a golf tournament with a bunch of weather people would be very, very cool. 10 out of 10 would do, especially if it was charity. All right. That's going to do it for today's stream. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure to like the stream, subscribe if you're new here. Appreciate anybody that became a member today or super chatted. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's free to do. The red button down below. Also, make sure to join our Discord server. The link's down below. I'm on there pretty often, so you might see me there. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. We're going to end it off with a gritty, and then I'm out of here. And we might be live tomorrow. I still... very, like, 30-40% chance on that. Pretty much like today. I did some squats yesterday, and my thighs are hurting. Like, I can feel it. I did some squats yesterday. I can literally feel it doing the gritty. W's all around. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Stay safe tonight. Again, the risk is dropping, so... nothing too crazy from here on out, probably. Just mostly wind. All organized into a line. Kentucky, going to have some wind later on tonight. And then tomorrow morning, some storms in Tennessee. I'll have a video probably tomorrow morning talking about that line of storms that's expected to go through Iowa and eventually Missouri and Illinois. And we'll talk about plans if we are going live or not, probably in that video as well. So subscribe, click the bell icon down below so you're notified if and when we do go live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you guys all again in the next stream, which might be tomorrow, but not guaranteed. I don't really feel like we're going to be live unless something tornadic-wise gets crazy here in, like, Kentucky or something. Or if the wind is just so widespread. Like, that's the only way. So, 30 to 40% chance of being live tomorrow. Wednesday, pretty much the same probabilities right now. So, yeah. All right, see you guys all again soon. Have a great night. Make sure to join our Discord. Download Radar Omega. Top link in the description below. Appreciate them sponsoring today's stream. We'll see you guys all again in the next one.